bienvenido al ayuntamiento. Nos estamos preparando para la reunión del Consejo Municipal de la Ciudad de Los Ángeles. Son las 10:05. Tenemos 6 miembros presentes. Gracias, señor Padilla, Cárdenas, Labange, Parks, Rosendahl y Zine. Por su puntualidad, nos estamos en 10 miembros para juntar un quórum. Señor Garcetti, Groh, Hunt, Perry, Weiss, Smith y Zine. Pasen a la sala, por favor, para iniciar la reunión. Which before it was only what it was owed to them. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to City Hall. Welcome to Council
Bienvenidos a
Chambers.
todos, bienvenido al ayuntamiento
And welcome to a meeting of the Los
y a la
Angeles City
sala
Council
del
for
Consejo
today,
Municipal,
Friday,
a
September
la
16th,
reunión del Consejo
2005.
Municipal de Los
City
Ángeles.
Council
Hoy
meets
es
every
el 16 de
Tuesday,
septiembre de
Wednesday,
2005.
and
Los municipales
Friday
todos los
at 10
martes,
a.m.
miércoles y viernes a las 10 de
Meetings
la
are open
mañana.
to the
El público
public,
es
and we do
bienvenido
invite you to join us.
a
For members of the public unable
acompañarnos.
to
Por los miembros
attend
del público
council
que no
meetings,
pueden
we
venir
can be
en
viewed
persona,
live on your
pueden
cable station,
vernos a
Channel
través
35.
de Canal
We can
35 en
also
vivo,
be
Canal
viewed live via
35
webcast
o
from
vía
the
la
city's
página internet de
homepage
la página
or heard
de
via
la
council
ciudad o
phone.
vía telefónica.
Colleagues, the time is
Colegas,
now
ahorita son
10
10
a.m. and
de
we
la
have
mañana.
7
Tenemos
members
7
present,
miembros
3 shy of a
presentes, aún nos
quorum.
faltan 3 para un
But this
quórum.
being
Pero
Friday,
ya que es
as is
viernes,
customary, we do
como es de
have
costumbre,
a
tenemos
number of special
varias
presentations and
presentaciones
introductions this
especiales y
morning. I'd like to begin
presentaciones.
today's meeting by
Voy a
recognizing
iniciar la reunión
Councilmember
esta
Parks
mañana reconociendo
for
al
our first
concejal Parks
presentation.
para la primera presentación.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Gracias, señor
Today
presidente.
we're honored to have
Es
someone
un
that
gran honor
is
tener a alguien
very close in the sense of the religious
que es
ceremonies,
muy
and certainly we saw him on
cerca de
television
nosotros. En
during the
ceremonias religiosas lo
conclave
miramos en
and
televisión durante el conclave
appointment of the
y
new,
nombramiento
the new Pope,
del nuevo Papa
Benedict XVI. And I'd like
Benedicto
to ask
XVI. Me
Cardinal
gustaría
Toomey
pedir
to
al
come up
cardenal Turi que
and
pase.
stand, and I want to welcome him to the
Quiero dar
city
la
of Los
bienvenida
Angeles.
a la ciudad de Los Ángeles.
And after I make this
Después de que
presentation, I
haga
want
esta
to ask Mr.
presentación, me gustaría pedirle al
Cash to come up
señor
and he
M.
can
Cash
introduce
que
those who are
presente a
with
los que
the
están
Cardinal.
con el
But
cardenal, pero el
Cardinal
cardenal
Christian
Toomey
is the Archbishop
es el
of
arzobispo
Douala,
de Douala,
Cameroon, and the
Cameroon.
Roman Catholic Church.
La
He was
Iglesia
born in Cameroon in
Católica. Él
October
nació en
1930,
Camerún en
ordained
octubre de
a priest
1930,
in
se hizo padre en
1966. He was
1966.
elected the
Él
first
fue
bishop
elegido
of that
como el
diocese
primer
in
obispo de esa
1979. Became
arquidiócesis en el
Archbishop in
69 y en
1974.
64 se hizo
Elected the
arzobispo,
President
fue
of the
elegido
National
presidente
Episcopal Conference of
de la
Cameroon in
Conferencia Nacional
1985.
Episcopal de
And
Camerún en el
named
85 y fue
cardinal by
nombrado
Pope
cardenal
John
por el
II on
Juan
June
Pablo
28,
II
1988.
el 28 de junio
Named to his current
1988.
post of Archbishop of Daiula
Arzobispo de
on
Daiula
August
fue nombrado en agosto de
1991. He serves
1991.
as president,
Él sirve como presidente,
delegate to the 8th General
delegado
Assembly
a la
of the Synod
octava
of Bishops
Asamblea
in
General de
1990.
Obispos en
Served
1990.
President Delegate of the
Sirvió
Special
como
Assembly
delegado
of Africa and the
arzobispo de
Synod
África
of Bishops in 94.
en el
And the
94
Pope
y luego el
appointed
Papa
him to the
lo nombró a él a
Congregation
la
for Divine
congregación
Worship and
para
Sacraments in
sacramentos
2004.
divinos y
He
alabanzas
was
en
one
el
of the
2004.
cardinals
Él fue uno de los
elected
cardenales
to
que fue
participate in
elegido
the papal
para
conclave
participar
that
en la conclave
selected
papal que
Pope
eligió
Benedict XVI
al
in
Papa
2005.
Benedicto XVI en el
Many of us
2005.
remember
Muchos nosotros
seeing
recordamos
and
haber
hearing,
visto y haber
of
escuchado
all of those issues
todas
with,
las
our
cuestiones
own Cardinal
con nuestro propio
Mahoney came
cardenal
to the
Mahoney
council
cuando
and
él
gave
nos
us both a
acompañó
verbal
aquí al Consejo Municipal, nos
and
dio una
pictorial view
presentación
of what happened in the conclave.
verbal y también
Nothing confidential though, Cardinal. I just want you to
en
know.
video. Nada fue confidencial, cardenal, quiero que sepa.
His doctor in
Recibió
theology at
su
University of
doctorado en
Lyons in
teología
France,
de
a
Universidad
doctorate of philosophy at the
Alianza de
University
Francia, filosofía en la Universidad de
Fritz-Berg in
Fritz-Berg
Switzerland.
en
He's well vested in his
Switzerland.
native dialect,
Él
as
habla su
well
idioma
as a variety
y
of other languages. He
otros
speaks,
diferentes
from what
idiomas
I can
habla,
see, at least 7 languages.
7 idiomas,
Close.
algo así,
7 languages.
7
He has
idiomas.
been a priest for over
Él ha sido padre por
39
más de
years, a
39
bishop for
años,
25
obispo por
years
25
plus,
años
and a
más
cardinal
y un
for
cardenal
17.
por 17
We'd
años.
like today
Me
to
gustaría hoy
resolve, as members of the
resolver
City
como miembro
Council,
del
all
Consejo
elected
Municipal,
officials,
todos los
to
oficiales
declare
electos,
that
declarar
September
que el
15th through
15 de
19th
septiembre al
is
19
Cardinal
es
Christian Toomey Week in the city of Los
la
Angeles.
semana de
And I
Cardinal
ask all of us to
Toomey
give the
y me
Cardinal
gustaría
a
darles
warm welcome in the city
una
of Los
calurosa
Angeles.
bienvenida al cardenal a la ciudad de Los Ángeles.
Mr. Cash, can I ask you to come up
Señor,
and introduce
pase
some
por
of
favor a
the
presentar a algunos
Cardinals,
de los cardenales.
Mr. Parks, before
Sir
we do that,
Parks?
Mr. Rosendahl would like to say a few
Very good,
words.
thank you.
I just wanted to welcome His Excellency
Quiero darle
to
la
our
bienvenida a su
great halls
excelencia a
here.
estas grandes
As a Roman
ayuntamiento aquí,
Catholic
como católico
and
romano
committed to the
y
faith, it's an
comprometido
honor
a
to
la fe,
have
es un gran
you
honor
come
tenerlo
before our
aquí
great city
ante nuestro
council.
gran
It's a pleasure
Consejo
to be
Municipal. Es
with
un
you
gran
today.
placer estar con usted el día de hoy.
Mr. Parks.
So, man, if you could come up and introduce some of
Pase
the
y presente
personal
al
staff of the Cardinal.
personal que acompaña al cardenal, por favor.
I'm going to say something in just a minute.
I'm not normally used to speaking before
Normalmente
the
no estoy acostumbrado a hablar
cardinal speaks, but in this
desde que habla el
case,
cardenal,
I'm
pero en
very
este
pleased
caso es
to.
un
I'm here
gran
with my dear
placer.
friend
Estoy aquí con mi
of,
gran
30
amigo
years
de 30 años
or more.
o más.
Okay. First of all, before I introduce our
Pero antes
additional
de
guests, I'd like
presentar a
to
los
say
otros
thank you
invitados, quiero dar las
to
gracias
Adrian Dove and to the King
Adrián y a
family
la
who have
familia
done so
King.
much
Ellos han
for the
hecho
city.
muchísimo para esta
I'm
ci-
just
para la
pleased to
ciudad.
be
Me
a
da
part
mucho
of this
gusto poder tomar
wonderful
parte de
week
esta
that
linda
this, my
semana.
city, the city of Los Angeles,
esta
has
ciudad
decided
de
to
Los
name
Ángeles ha decidido
Cardinal
nombrar
Toomey Week.
la semana
My
de
friends
Cardenal.
that I met in Cameroon
Los amigos que
about
conocí
20
en
years ago,
Cameroon hace
one of
como
them is
20 años
Andrew
de ellos es
Akonte.
Andrew
And
Akonte,
Andrew
y
is
Andrew
the founder and
es el
president
fundador y
of the Movement
presidente
for
de
Democracy, Development and
Monumento hacia Democracia y
Transparency in all of
Transparencia
Africa, and a
en toda
former
África. Y
parliamentarian.
un
Andrew,
previo
won't you please stand?
parlamentario. De pie, por favor.
And Equan William, who is his
Equan William
secretary
es
for the
un
Cardinal. Please stand.
Secretario del Cardenal, por póngase de pie.
Thank you so very much.
I'm going to ask the Cardinal to make a few comments, and Dennis, I've already asked him about where he might help you. He said maybe purgatory, but that may be all he can do. No, well, he said maybe.
Oh, maybe. Okay, thank you. Thank you. It's okay. Sit down, Bill.
I am very embarrassed
Cardenal, estoy muy
to
avergonzado
find myself in this
encontrarme
august
en esta
assembly.
honorada asamblea.
And the only word I have
Y
for
la
everybody
única palabra que
here
tengo para todos aquí
is a
que me
word
permiten
of
compartir es una
thanksgiving.
palabra de darles gracias.
Just to tell
Solamente
you,
para decirles,
to express my sentiments at this moment.
quisiera expresar mis sentimientos en este momento.
I never expected
Yo nunca esperaba
so much welcome in Los Angeles.
tan gran bienvenida para
A city, a town I am visiting for the first time in my life.
mí en esta ciudad de Los Ángeles.
And
Es
I
la que he
hope
visitado por primera vez en mi vida
that
y
it is
espero
not the first
que no
and the
sea
last,
la primera ni la
but the
última
beginning
vez, pero que sea el principio
of future visits to
de
this
visitas en
town.
el futuro a esta ciudad.
Because since I
Porque
came,
desde que
I have been making
He llegado aquí, he
friends
estado haciendo
every
amistades
day.
todos los días.
And I thank the
Y
Lord
le doy
for
gracias
having given me
a
the
Dios por haberme
occasion
dado esta
to
oportunidad
know quite a number of the citizens of
de
this
conocer a
part
los
of the
residentes de esta
world.
parte del mundo.
So I say thank you and
Entonces, te doy las
thank you
gracias a
very
ustedes y
much
muchas gracias. Gracias
for welcoming
por
me
darme la
here.
bienvenida.
And I come from a very far
Vengo
away
de
country.
un país muy lejano.
It takes one at least 17 hours of flight in
El
the
cual tomó
plane,
17 horas de
and we
viaje
had
en el
difficulties.
avión y tuvimos dificultades,
But we had decided
pero
to be
decidimos
here,
estar aquí.
and we had to suspend
Tuvimos que
every other
suspender
commitment
los
at
otros
home
compromisos
to
que
be in
tenemos
Los
en nuestro país
Angeles.
para poder estar aquí en Los
I
Ángeles.
came with
Vine
anxiety,
con algo de
with
ansiedad,
joy in my heart
con
to
felicidad en mi
discover
corazón
new areas, new persons, new
al descubrir
peoples,
nuevas
new
eras,
friends.
nuevas
And I
personas,
think
nueva gente, nuevas
that even if I
amistades. Y
left
pienso que
back
aún
for
si
home today,
me regresaría a
my
casa
visit
esta
would have been
hoy.
a
Mi
success.
visita ha sido un éxito.
So once more, I
Entonces, de nuevo,
thank the City Council and
Gracias a la Comisión
friends who
Municipal y
gave
a
me this
mis
occasion to be
amistades que
here
me han dado
with
esta
you.
oportunidad por estar aquí con ustedes.
And as a religious, I promise you one thing.
Como servidor
My
religioso, le prometo
prayers to the
algo.
Lord of
Mis
Lords and
oraciones
King
al
of
Dios de
Kings,
Dios y Rey de Reyes.
that He who is
Que Él,
wisdom,
quien es
that
toda
He might
sabiduría,
give to
que Él le
those
pueda dar a
to
los
whom He has
a quien
confided
Él
this
le ha
town, the wisdom,
confiado
the
la
knowledge
ciudad, la
necessary
sabiduría, el conocimiento
to
necesario
direct His
para
people
que dirija
who
a su
are in
pueblo
this
que se encuentran
geographical
en esta
limitation.
área
So once
geográfica.
more, I say
De
thank
nuevo,
you
le
and
doy las
thank you very
gracias y
much, and
muchísimas
everybody
gracias a todos
who has come here
los que
this
han venido
morning
aquí esta
for
mañana
this occasion
para esta
to honor
ocasión para
in me
prestar honor
the
en
people
mí
of
a las
Africa,
personas de
the
África,
church
la iglesia
that is in Africa,
que está ubicada en
the
África,
church
la
that
iglesia
is in
que
Cameroon,
está en
the
Camerún, la
church that
iglesia
is
que
in Douala.
está
Once
en
more, thank you and thank you very much.
el mundo. Gracias, gracias de nuevo.
Cardinal, I'm Councilwoman Jan Perry, and I also wanted to say a few words just to welcome you on this historic occasion into our council chambers and to the city of Los Angeles. What a wonderful sight you are to behold, and to what you represent, not just to the religious community, but to the larger spiritual community worldwide, is a moment I'm sure that we will all remember, and I hope your stay here is one that fills you with great joy and introduces you to some different experiences, because Los Angeles is a very unusual and highly spiritual city. Just up the street, I think you will spend a little time at the cathedral, and not only has the cathedral fulfilled the promise of being a center for a gathering of those who are Catholic, but a spiritual center for our city, a civic center as well. And I know that you will enjoy not only the architecture, but to hear about the programs that have taken place there since its opening. So thank you so much for embracing us and joining us here today. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go in the back and take some photos. Thank you, babe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Parks and Ms. Perry. I'd now like to introduce Council President Alex Padilla for a presentation.
Yes. Good morning, Hector. Good, thanks.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
35.
And as the Cardinals
That's what,
delegation
I charge for carrying.
makes his way, if I can ask Councilmember Reyes,
Yeah, 35.
Councilmember Cardenas to join me. I know Councilmember Garcetti isn't unable to join us today, and we're
understand that, but when I
being
first
joined
spoke
any
to
minute
somebody,
by
when they
Councilmember,
first called me
excuse me, by the
yesterday, I
mayor
asked them, I read it, and I told
of the
them
city of
this.
Los Angeles, Antonio Villaraigosa, to help launch the Latino Heritage Month festivities for the year 2005. Every year, colleagues, you know that from mid-September through mid-October, we celebrate not just Latino history on foreign lands, but the wonderful contributions that Latinos in the United States, Latinos in the city of Los
Latinos
Angeles,
en la ciudad de Los
and
Ángeles
what
y
the Latino community
la-
has
lo que la
contributed
comunidad latina ha contribuido
to culture, to
la
education,
cultura, a
to
educación,
society,
a
to
la
the
sociedad,
economy
a
within
la
our city
economía
and
dentro de
throughout the
nuestra ciudad y en
country.
todo el país.
The first of the major activities
El
took
primero de
place
las
just last
actividades
night.
que
And at
ocurrió
this point, I
anoche.
want
En
to
este punto me gustaría
recognize
reconocer al
Councilmember Ed
concejal Ed
for a
Reyes
tremendous
por
El Grito ceremony,
una gran
which is the
ceremonia del
civic
grito, el cual
ceremony
es la ceremonia cívica.
that the civic ceremony that acknowledges the
cívica que
launching of
reconoce
the
el
Mexican
lanzamiento de la
independence
independencia
celebrations and all
mexicana, de esa
that Independence
celebración
Days around the
y
world
todos los otros días de
really
independencia en todo el
represents
mundo y lo que
peoples really organizing,
representa
rising
las
up
personas
for
organizándose,
democracy,
uniéndose para la democracia,
self-determination, the same core
autodeterminación,
values and
los
principles
mismos
that
principios y
drive
valores
this country of the
que
United
apoyan
States
este
of America.
país de los Estados
So
Unidos de
at this
América.
point,
Entonces, en este
if I can get a cue
momento,
from the mayor's office, if he's
señor alcalde,
here
si se
or a
encuentra
couple of
aquí
seconds away.
o está muy cerca.
If not, then let me ask
Quiero
Councilmember
pedirle
Ed
al
Reyes
concejal Ed
to be our
Reyes
next
que sea
speaker.
el siguiente presentador.
Thank you, Alex.
Muchas gracias, Alex.
Do want to take a moment
Quiero
to
tomar un
thank
momento
everyone
para
who
dar
worked
gracias
so
a
hard on
todos los
this
que trabajaron
event.
muy duro en este evento.
Our General Services
El
Department, a
Departamento de
great
Servicios
director, his
Generales, un gran
staff,
director, su
putting
personal,
together all of the logistics,
organizó toda la logística,
our police department for the great conduct,
organización, el
and
Departamento de
working
Policía
with
por su
a
conducta,
very large
trabajando
crowd.
con
We had our
un grupo
council
muy
members,
grande, nuestros concejales,
Cárdenas,
Cárdenas,
Padilla, Garcetti,
Garcetti,
Perry,
Perry,
who contributed, as well as all our
contribuyeron también
sponsors.
todos los
And I also want to
patrocinadores,
thank
y
my
también quiero dar
staff
gracias a mi
who work
personal.
very hard. They're the
Trabajaron
behind
muy
the scenes
duro, ellos
folks.
son las personas tras las
Jose
escenas,
Gardea,
José
Rebecca
Gardea,
Valdez, Tony Perez,
Rebeca
and
Valdez,
everyone
Tony
else, my
Pérez
staff
y los
worked
demás.
very, very hard on this event.
Y
And of
yo
course,
trabajamos muy duro en
Univision,
este evento, también Univision,
who, in Channel 34, who
Canal
have
34,
done this event
que
for
ha
22 years,
hecho este
did
evento
a
por
great
2
job
años,
yesterday.
un gran
Yesterday was
trabajo.
also a day in which we
También fue un día
recognize
cuando
the
reconocimos
tribulations, the
las
struggles of our
tribulaciones y luchas
parents.
de nuestros padres.
Many of us
Muchos de
are
nosotros
sons and daughters
somos
of
hijos e hijas
immigrants.
de inmigrantes.
We saw what our parents went
Miramos
through
lo que,
when they
por lo que
come to
pasaron
a
sus
country
padres cuando llegaron a un
where they
país
don't know the language,
donde no saben
they don't
el idioma,
understand the
no
social
entienden
norms of a
las
different
normas
society,
sociales
made
de una
that
sociedad diferente,
sacrifice.
hicieron ese
Because of them, we
sacrificio
are
y por ellos
here
estamos aquí.
as business persons,
Como
doctors,
empresarios,
lawyers, and
doctores,
as I said last
abogados,
night,
como dije anoche,
even politicians.
aún políticos.
So we want to
Entonces
thank
queremos darle
them
las
for their
gracias a
hard
ellos por
work.
su
We
trabajo y
dedicate ourselves
dedicarnos nosotros
to their
a su
sacrifices and
sacrificio.
thank all of
Y
the
muchas
parents
gracias a
throughout
todos los
this great
padres en todo
country.
este gran país.
As immigrants,
Y
this
como
is a
inmigrantes,
country
este
of
es un
immigrants,
país de
and we need
inmigrantes.
not to forget
Necesitamos
that, and
no
to
olvidarnos
be
de eso y
able to embrace this diversity truly
poder
is a
incluir
strength
esa
of this great
diversidad.
country. So I wanna
Realmente es
thank all of
una
you for
fuerza de
your
este
great
país.
effort.
Gracias a todos por
Let's
sus grandes
continue on in this
esfuerzos
great ceremony.
y
Thank you,
continuaremos con
Alex,
esta
for
gran
allowing me to
ceremonia.
speak.
Gracias, Alex, por permitirme hablar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ed. You made
Muchas
me very
gracias, Ed.
proud
Me
to call you a colleague and a
me
fellow
hiciste sentir
Latino and a
muy
fellow
orgulloso por
American with the event that we did
llamarte
last
colega,
night for El Grito, a celebration that has been celebrated in the city for many,
compatriota.
many years, and you did it justice.
Gracias por
Thank you very much for your fine
permitirme
work.
participar en esta
Congratulations.
celebración. La noche se hizo un gran trabajo, se hizo una gran justicia a esa gran celebración latina y
When I
mexicana.
think of Latino
Cuando yo pienso
Heritage
acerca de
Month, I
el
think
mes
of
de herencia
art, I think
latina,
of
pienso en
wonderful
arte,
food, I think
de
of
rica
many, many
comida y
things. I think
muchísimas
of
cosas.
music, all of
También
these
pienso en música,
wonderful,
todas
spicy
estas
things that the
cosas
Latino community has
picosas
brought to
que
this great
la
land
comunidad
called the
latina ha
United
traído
States of
esta
America,
gran
and the wonderful things that
país
they're
llamado
doing in
los
their
Estados Unidos
own
de América
country.
y
It's a
algo que
great
se hace en su propio
opportunity for
país
us
es
to
una gran
recognize
oportunidad de
other
poder
countries
conocer a otros
in
países
this great country
en
where we
este
have the
gran país
freedom
donde
to
tenemos
talk
la
about what
libertad
we
de
want to
hablar,
talk
sé que lo
about,
queremos
to
hablar,
do whatever it is that we want to
de
do.
hacer lo que
But one
queremos
of the
hacer, pero
things
algo
that comes to mind
que
that I kept thinking about
llega a
last
mi
night
mente y que
during the
pensé
Grito
sobre esta noche durante la
celebration
celebración del
was
Grito
the
fue
work ethic
la
that
ética de
immigrants bring
trabajo
to
que
this
los
great
inmigrantes
country.
traen a este
When you
gran
think
país.
about the
Cuando piensa
railroads that were
acerca de
built
los ferrocarriles
by
que
the
fueron construidos
Chinese
por
and
los
the Irish and the
chinos
Latinos and the Filipinos, when you think about
de
today,
Irlanda, Filipinos,
there's
y cuando
probably not a day that
pensamos
goes
el día de hoy no
by
hay
for
un día
any
que no
person
pasa
in Los Angeles or in the
cuando
United
alguna
States of
persona en Los Ángeles,
America
los Estados
where
Unidos
you
de
don't
América,
eat
donde
something
cada
that
uno no
passes
come
through the hands
algo
of
que
an
pasa a
immigrant.
través de las manos de un inmigrante,
Whether it's
ya sea
whether it's
ya
picked
sea si ha
in
sido
the Central
piscado
Valley of
en el Valle
California, the
Central de
most fertile,
California,
productive land in the
el terreno
entire
más
world
fértil y
is
productivo en todo
right
el mundo
here
está
down the street from
aquí,
us. And
muy
the
cerca,
backbone of that
y el
community is
respaldo de
the
esa
immigrant,
comunidad son los
the person who
inmigrantes,
literally
la persona
breaks
quien
their
literalmente
back
se quiebra la
to make sure
espalda para
that we
asegurarse
eat
que
fresh
comamos
foods.
comida fresca.
When you go to other
Cuando
parts of
uno
the
visita otras
world,
partes del
that's when you
mundo,
start to
es cuando uno
notice
empieza a notar
all the luxuries that we
todas
have,
las
such as a fresh salad.
lujos que tenemos como una ensalada
Those
fresca.
simple things
Esas
are brought
cosas
to you
sencillas
by the hardworking
son
hands
entregadas
of people who
por
don't
las
even
manos
complain. That's what I thought about last
trabajadoras de
night,
personas
thinking
que no
about
se
my
quejan.
father with a
Estamos
first
hablando
grade
sobre mi
education,
padre con
who
el
came here
primer
with my
año de
mother,
educación,
who had
llegó
a
aquí con mi
second
mamá y
grade
tenía una
education.
educación de segundo
And then for
grado.
their 11
Y por
children
sus
to
11
be in public
hijos
schools
estar en
here
escuelas
and to have
públicas
an
aquí y tener una
opportunity to dream
oportunidad
and grow
de soñar
beyond
y
the
crecer
wildest
más
dreams
allá
of
de
their
los
parents.
sueños
I also
no imaginables de
thought
sus padres.
about the
También pensé acerca de las
contributions that our
contribuciones
parents
que nuestros
and
padres
immigrants
e
demand of their
inmigrantes
children,
exigen de sus hijos.
that we bring honor to our
Que
families,
traigamos honor a
that
nuestras
we bring
familias, que
honor
traigamos
to our
honor a
heritage,
nuestra
and
herencia
that we also
y que
be
también
proud
nos sintamos
Americans.
orgullosos por
Every
ser
immigrant wants
americanos.
to come
Todo
here and is
inmigrante
proud to
quiere
see
venir
their
aquí y siente muy
children
orgulloso ver a
speak
sus hijos
English.
que pueden hablar inglés.
Latino Heritage Month
El
is a
mes de herencia
positive
latina
month.
es un mes
It's an
positivo, es una
opportunity for
oportunidad
appreciation.
para
It's an
apreciación, es una
opportunity for
oportunidad
dreams to be
para que
realized
sueños
and to
se
be
hagan realidad
recognized.
y que sean
It's an
reconocidos,
opportunity
es una
for us to
oportunidad para
understand
nosotros
that that in the
entender
second
que en
largest
la
city in
segunda
this
ciudad más
country,
grande de este país
we have a mayor
tenemos un alcalde
who came from immigrants.
que vino de padres
We have a
inmigrantes.
city
Tenemos
council
un
president
presidente del
who
Consejo
came from
Municipal que vino de
immigrants.
padres inmigrantes.
We have people
Tenemos a
who have been
personas
here
que han
for
estado
hundreds of
aquí por
years,
cientos
who
de
appreciate
años,
these
que
things.
aprecian
Like Jan
esas
Perez,
cosas como Jan
Jan
Pérez,
Perry
no, disculpe,
last
Jan
night.
Perry anoche.
Who challenged all of
Quien
us
nos desafió
Latinos
a
to
todos
speak better
latinos que
Spanish the
hablemos
way
mejor
she spoke
español,
Spanish
de la
last
manera
night.
que ella habló español
I say
anoche.
that
Y digo
as we
esto
chuckle because she
con un poco de risa
expressed
porque ella
in words
dio-
and in
se
actions and
expresó
in
con
doing her
palabras,
homework to
acciones y
show
en su tarea,
respect to a
mostró
community.
respeto a una comunidad.
To me, Latino Heritage Month is an opportunity for us to give to each other, to give to each other in recognizing what is good in this diversity, to recognize that when you see someone that doesn't look like you, may not dress as nice as you, may not even drive a car or drives a car not as nice as yours, don't look down on them. Appreciate the fact that that is the backbone of this country.
Aprecia el hecho que esa persona
People
puede ser el respaldo de este país.
People who
Las
dream and
personas que
act
sueñan y que toman acción de
positively,
manera
people who
positiva,
dream
las
and
personas que
aspire
sueñan
and
y
act accordingly to
tienen
reach those
inspiración y
dreams, if
motivación de
not for
acuerdo para
them,
lograr
but for
esos
the
sueños,
next
si no fuera para ellos,
generation.
pero para la siguiente
Congratulations,
generación.
Los
Felicitaciones,
Angeles,
Los
on this
Ángeles,
wonderful
en esta linda
opportunity to
oportunidad
give this
de dar
experience
esta
to all of us.
experiencia a
I
todos
hope we all
nosotros. Espero que
participate.
todos
Thank you.
participemos. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Council Members
Gracias,
Reyes and Cardenas,
concejales Reyes y
colleagues. I know
Cardenas,
on a
colegas.
daily
Yo
and weekly
sé
basis
que
we have a lot
diaria
of
y
policy
semanalmente tenemos
discussions, and
muchas
we know
pláticas
that,
de normas.
folks
Sabemos
who strive
que las
to find
personas
Latino
que tratan
issues,
de
are
encontrar cuestiones
often responded
latinas
to
muchas
by us
veces
as, well, they're not just
se
Latino
responden
issues,
por
they're
nosotros
Los
solamente
Angeles issues,
asuntos de
they're California
latinos,
issues, they're
asuntos de Los
American
Ángeles, de
people
California,
issues.
son asuntos de
Issues
personas
like
americanas,
education,
asuntos como
when we know
educación,
that
cuando sabemos que
74% of the
74%
students
de
in
los
the Los Angeles
estudiantes
Unified
en
School
el Distrito
District
Unificado de
come
Los
from Latino
Ángeles
families,
provienen de
and
familias
that we have
latinas y
a
que
near
tenemos
50%
casi
dropout rate
50% de
in
personas
our
que no
public
se
schools. We
gradúan
have
en
our
escuelas
work
públicas.
cut
Tenemos
out for us.
mucho trabajo que
We read
hacer.
about
Leemos
issues
sobre
like
cuestiones
financial
como
services and knowing
servicios
that the Latino
económicos,
community
sabiendo
in
que la comunidad
particular
latina en
is far too
particular
often the victim
muchas veces son
of
las
either higher
víctimas de ya
interest
sea
rates or discrimination when it
intereses
comes
más
to
altos,
lending
discriminación en
practices.
cuanto a
We have our
prácticas
work
de
cut out for
préstamos.
us.
Tenemos
Issues
mucho
like
trabajo que hacer,
healthcare,
asuntos como
where we've been discussing
cuidado de salud. Hemos
childhood
estado hablando
obesity and
acerca de
diabetes around this
obesidad de
horseshoe
niños y
for a
diabetes
couple of
en este
years
grupo
now.
ya por varios
And
años.
the Latino
Y
community
la
is
comunidad
twice as likely
latina
to develop diabetes or
tiene dos
complications
veces
from
más
diabetes
la
than the
posibilidad
general
de
population. We have
desarrollar
our work
complicaciones por
cut out
diabetes.
for
Tenemos
us.
mucho trabajo
But
que
what gives
hacer.
us hope
Pero
in
lo que nos
tackling
da
these issues
esperanza
is
para
knowing
resolver
that what's
estos asuntos es
happened
saber que lo que ha
in
ocurrido
recent years and over time. Just look at the
Hace
last
poco
year
y a
and
través
what's
del tiempo,
happened in
miren lo
terms
que
of
ocurrió el año
milestones for the
pasado, lo que ha
Latino
ocurrido en
community.
cuanto a
The
obstáculos
first
que han sido
franchise owner of a Major League
desafiados
Baseball
por
team, a
latinos.
team just south of here,
Un equipo de
the
béisbol, los
California
propietarios del
Angels,
béisbol, los
owned by a Mexican American. The Attorney General of the
California
United
Angels,
States, the
es
first
convertido
Latino
el primer
in the United
fiscal de
States
los Estados
history.
Unidos, el primer latino
Last
en la historia de
November,
los
the
Estados Unidos.
states
El
of
último
Florida
noviembre, el
and
estado
Colorado
de
elected
Florida y
two
Colorado
Latinos
eligieron
to
a dos
represent them
latinos que
in the United
representaron
States
en
Senate.
el Senado de los Estados
And
Unidos.
I think
Y yo
just as
pienso,
significant of all those
como
milestones,
tan
just
importante
as
como todos
important
esos
for the
obstáculos tan
progress
importantes para el
and
progreso
maturation
y
of the
maduración
Latino
de
community
la comunidad
across the
latina en
country
todo el país
was the election
fue la
of our
elección
new
de nuestro
mayor.
nuevo
Please
alcalde.
welcome the
Por favor,
Honorable
bienvenido a la bienvenida al
Antonio
honorable
Villaraigosa.
Antonio Villaraigosa.
Ay, 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 mamá, por Dios, que borracho vengo, que me siga la tambora, que me toque en el quelite, después el niño perdido y por último el torito, pa' que vean cómo me pinto. Ay, 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 mamá, por Dios. Y viva México, señores. todos me dicen el negro, un negro pero con suerte, porque si me salta un gallo no me le rajo a la muerte. Ay, 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 mamá, por Dios que borracho vengo, que me siga la tambora, que me toque en el quelite, después el niño perdido y por último el torito, pa' que vean cómo me pinto. Ay, 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 mamá, por Dios. Échele bonito, sí, señor. Soy del mero Sinaloa, donde se rompen las olas, y busco uno que ande sola y que no tenga marido, para no estar comprometido cuando resulte la bola. Ay, 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 mamá, por Dios que borracho vengo. Ay, 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 sí, señor.
Se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, se puede. I don't know about all of you, but I have chills going down my arms and
Buenos
up my
días.
back, and I think all of us feel a
Todos
great
sentimos
sense of
un gran
pride
sentimiento
today.
de orgullo el
All of
día de hoy,
us,
todos
Angelinos,
nosotros
of the
de
sense of
Los
the possible.
Ángeles.
And I want to thank
Quiero dar las
Mariachi
gracias a
Divas.
Mariachi
What a
Divas.
great performance. Thank
Qué
you
linda
so much.
presentación, muchísimas gracias.
I first met them a few
Yo
years
los
ago,
conocí
and
hace unos cuantos años, sí.
they're my favorites, so whenever I
Son
get a
mis
chance to
favoritas. Cuando
bring them
tengo
before all of you,
oportunidad de
I like to take
presentárselas, me
advantage of it.
gustaría
Thank
tomar,
you so
me
much
gusta
for your beautiful
tomar ventaja.
music.
Gracias,
And
muchas gracias por su linda
gracias.
música.
Bravo a las Mariachi Divas.
Gracias, bravo al Mariachi Divas.
You know, the sense of pride that we
El
feel
sentido de orgullo que
in having
sentimos al
our
tener
president,
a nuestro
Alex
presidente,
Padilla,
Alex Padilla,
one of the youngest
uno de
members
los
ever to
miembros más
serve
jóvenes que ha
in the city
servido
council,
en el Consejo
any ethnicity,
Municipal
and now the
de
president
cualquier grupo
of
étnico.
the
Ahora es el
Los Angeles
presidente
City
del
Council.
Consejo Municipal de
In
Los
the era of
Ángeles en
tournaments,
el
will
área de
probably
límites.
be the longest serving
términos de
council
límites, va a
president
ser el presidente que ha
here,
servido más
young
tiempo
man
aquí,
with great
joven,
talent. Give him
con
a
gran
big hand.
talento, un gran aplauso.
Council member
Concejal
Tony Cardenas, who I
Cardenas,
served in the state
yo
legislature
serví
with
en la
for 4 years, the
legislatura
former
estatal,
chair
con
of
él por
budget,
4 años, el previo
a
presidente
young man who grew up in a
de
family of
presupuesto y
11,
finanzas, un joven que creció
with
con una
parents
familia de 11,
with only a second grade
hermanos
education,
cuyos padres
but they
solo
gave him a
tuvieron
love
una
for family and
educación de
life and
segundo
a
grado,
sense
le
of
dieron
the
un amor
possible,
de
and
vida,
here he is now,
de
a
sueños, un
city
sentimiento
council
para lo
member,
que es
council
posible
member
ahora es
Tony
un concejal
Cardenas.
aquí, el concejal Tony Cárdenas.
My neighbor and friend,
Mi amigo y mi
Ed Reyes,
vecino, Ed Reyes,
who I had the honor of
tuve el
voting
honor
for
de
when he
votar.
first
Con
ran
él
for
cuando él primero se
council,
postuló para
the
el Consejo
conscience
Municipal,
of our council.
la conciencia de
A
nuestro
great
Consejo Municipal,
young
una
success story. Grew up
historia.
in the neighborhood, went on
Joven,
to
creció en la comunidad,
UCLA and
fue a UCLA
masters in urban planning and
con un
a
Masters
great
in Urban
voice,
Planning y una
Ed
gran
Reyes.
voz, Ed Reyes.
The chill that I feel, and I think that many of us
El escalofrío que yo siento, y creo que muchos otros sentimos ese escalofrío cuando hablamos,
chill that
es
comes with knowing
el escalofrío de
that I've been
saber
bestowed
que
a
a mí me
great
ha
honor to be
entregado
the
un gran
mayor
honor el
of
poder
the
ser
city
el
that's
alcalde
given
de
me
la
so
ciudad
much,
que me ha dado mucho.
to be the mayor
Es el
of a
alcalde
city that
de
my
una
grandpa
ciudad
came from Mexico to
donde mi
more than
padre
100 years ago. And
mi abuelo de
I'm
México
so
vino hace
honored to be the
muchos
first
años. Es un
in
gran honor ser el
130 years
primero
of
en 130
Mexican
años
ancestry, and
de
today we celebrate
herencia
Mexican
mexicana, y hoy
independence.
celebramos independencia mexicana.
But like my colleagues on
Pero
the
como mis
council,
colegas en el
we
Consejo
know that
Municipal
it's not
sabemos
enough
que no es
to
suficiente
go through a door of opportunity.
pasar
That you got to
tras
give
una
back,
puerta de oportunidad.
and
Tenemos
that you
que
got to
dar a la
speak
comunidad,
out
tenemos que
and
hablar
advocate for
y
those
ser activistas
who you
para
want to
los que
bring
queremos
with you through that door.
que
And,
nos acompañen
I
y
just
que
wanna
crucen
say
esa
that,
puerta. Y solamente
so
me gustaría
honored to
decirles que es un
serve
gran
with all
honor
of you
servir
and,
con todos ustedes
in
y
these times, y
en
quiero
esos
decir en
momentos,
español,
quiero decirles en
que es un
español
orgullo
que es un gran
ser el
orgullo
primer
ser el primer
alcalde de
alcalde
descendencia
de descendencia
mexicana
mexicana
en más de 133 años.
en más de 133 años.
Qué lindo es este gran
qué lindo
país
es este
de los
gran
Estados
país de
Unidos,
los Estados Unidos,
que nos ha dado tanto.
que nos ha dado tanto.
Este sueño
Este
americano
sueño
es real.
americano es
Y la
real. Y
realidad,
la
es,
realidad
que
es que estos concejales
son un ejemplo
son un
grande
ejemplo muy grande
del sueño
del sueño americano.
Y estamos aquí, celebrando la independencia de México, pero también las contribuciones
de los inmigrantes mexicanos
que han hecho tanto para
la riqueza de los Estados Unidos y especialmente en nuestra gran ciudad de Los Ángeles.
Pero cuando hablo de los
mexicanos,
eso es el país de mi origen,
de mis abuelitos.
Siempre hablamos de ese continente, de Latinoamérica. Hablamos de todos los países de Centroamérica, de Sudamérica. Presentes hoy
están
los hijos de los inmigrantes
latinos que vienen de todos los países. Ahora es mi privilegio presentarles los premios de este año de herencia latina a tres grandes individuos. Cuando hablo acerca de ese escalofrío que aún siento cuando hablo, tal como estoy sintiendo al hablar con ustedes ahorita, es un escalofrío que sentimos, es un escalofrío que entiende que los logros que hemos podido lograr a través de los años solamente están en el mundo de políticas, pero hecho solamente una pequeña parte, es en el mundo de comercio, comunidad, artes y entretenimiento y en casi cada sector de sociedad que uno pueda pensar, y no hagan errores, hay una conexión entre esos éxitos y creo que todas las personas, por hecho yo sé que todas las personas a quien les prestaremos honor el de hoy saben que tienen mucha fortuna y saben que tienen una responsabilidad para otros, y por eso que les damos honra, empezando con Dolores Huerta.
who's inspired
Ella
the nation and indeed
a la
the
nación
world
y al mundo
to pursue what is right,
de lograr lo
to
que es
stand up,
correcto, de
not
ponerse
just for
de pie, no
the farm
solamente
workers,
por
but the
los
children,
granjeros, pero por
the
los
women,
niños, las
all of
mujeres,
those.
todos,
minorities, all of
minoridades,
those who have
todos
been left out
los que han
by
sido
society.
excluidos por la
Dolores
sociedad.
Huerta.
Dolores Huerta,
Thank you so much
muchas
for being here
gracias por
today.
estar aquí el día de hoy.
George Lopez.
George López.
Who reminds us
Él
that
nos
laughter is
recuerda
such a
que
wonderful
la sonrisa
part
es
of life.
una parte muy
Reminds
importante
us
y linda de la vida. Nos
not to
recuerda
take
ourselves
el no
too
tomarnos
seriously.
muy seriamente.
I've been on the other
Yo he
end
estado
of
al
his
otro
jokes from
lado
time
de
to
sus
time.
chistes de vez en cuando.
It's not fun,
No es divertido,
but it is funny.
pero es chistoso.
But it is funny.
Pero es chistoso.
And that's why we're here
Es por
today.
eso que estamos aquí el
Thank
día de hoy.
you,
Muchas
George
gracias,
Lopez.
George López.
Robert Graham,
Robert Graham.
who's in Europe as we speak.
Él está en
But sent
Europa en
his-
este momento, pero envió a su
The best gift he could have sent
el
us, his
mejor
son.
premio que nos
He's
pudo
given
enviar
us
a su hijo.
beauty through art. Thank you, Stephen, for accepting on his behalf. And now I'd like to present these awards, beginning with Dolores Huerta. And as all of you know, we will have a gala dinner to celebrate Latino Heritage
Es un
Month,
orgullo poder
where we actually
celebrar
be
el mes de
presenting
herencia
you
latina,
that
donde
day
nos estamos
with
presentando
a
ustedes ese día
beautiful
con
symbol
un lindo símbolo
of this award. But
de
today
este
I'd like
premio,
to
pero el día de hoy me
announce
gustaría
that
anunciar
Dolores
que
Huerta
Dolores Huerta
will be the Spirit
será el
of
espíritu
Los
de
Angeles
Los Ángeles,
awarding the
recibiendo
Spirit
este
of Los
premio, el
Angeles,
espíritu de Los
because
Ángeles,
this is a
porque
woman
esta es
whose
una mujer
spirit and faith,
cuyo
indomitable
espíritu
faith
y
in others
fe en
is an
otros es una
inspiration
inspiración
to the nation and the
para la
world.
nación y para el
She's
mundo. Ella
like a big
es
sister to
como
me,
una hermana grande
75
para mí,
years young,
75 años
and
joven,
you'd never know it.
y no nunca
She's got the
lo sabría, y
energy
tiene la
of a
energía
kid,
de un
and
jovencito.
that spirit
Y ese espíritu
that made Los
que
Angeles
hizo que
great
Los Ángeles
is the
fuera una
spirit
gran
that lives in
ciudad,
your
el
heart.
espíritu que
And
vive en
on
su
behalf of
corazón
the
y de
people of
parte
Los Angeles,
del
the
pueblo de
City
Los
Council,
Ángeles, el
and all of
Consejo
us,
Municipal y de todos
we'd like to
nosotros.
present you
Entonces, a presentarle a usted
with this
con
Spirit of Los Angeles
este espíritu
award.
de Los Ángeles, este premio.
You know, I first met George Lopez
Primero conocí
about
a
4 years
George
ago. I
López hace
was
4 años,
running for mayor,
cuando me
and
postulé para
this guy on
alcalde.
the radio show
Había este
praising
presentador en la radio
me, and I said, well, I got to go on
haciendo
the
buenas
show,
cosas
and who is this
de mí.
guy?
Dije, tengo que
Met
estar en
him
su show,
and
quién es esta persona,
loved
lo
the spirit,
conocí y
loved his
me
energy.
enamoré de su espíritu, su
Nothing
energía.
was sacred.
Nada era sagrado.
I like that too.
También me
He had
cayó
this
eso bien, él
connection
tenía
with
esta
young
conexión
people that
con
was
los
really
jóvenes,
special.
que es muy
And then I got
especial.
to
Y
know
luego
more about
conocí,
him,
supe
his
más
story,
de él, su
and it's
historia, y
Tony Cardenas' story,
la
and
historia
Alex
de Tony
Padilla and Ed
Cárdenas, y la
Reyes'
de
story, and Antonio
Alex Padilla
Villaraigosa's
y Ed
story,
Reyes,
and
la historia de
the
Antonio
story of so
Villaraigosa, y la
many of
historia de
us. It's
muchos
the
de
story
nosotros,
of
de la historia
a
de
young kid who
un
dreamed
joven que tenía
that he could make
sueños,
it
que él podía llegar
and
muy
worked
alto y
hard
trabajó muy
and
duro
overcame
y
adversity,
sobrellevó
and those dreams
adversidad
come
y
true.
esos sueños llegaron
And
a
I'll
ser
tell you,
realidad. Y quiero
to
decirles,
know that I knew him
saber
when
que yo lo conocí
he
en ese
became rich and
momento,
famous and
antes
had
de
his
que
own
llegó a
slot
ser
machine. You know, I mean,
famoso y tenía
talk
su propia
about not only
máquina
his
de
own
jugar,
show,
solamente
but
tiene
his
su
own
propio show,
slot
tiene su
machine.
propia maquinita
I
para
said,
jugar,
you know, what an incredible
como en Las Vegas.
dream come true. And
Dije, es un sueño
we
increíble
present
que se ha hecho realidad. Y
you, George,
te presentamos a ti,
with
George,
this dream
con este
of
sueño
Los Angeles
de Los
Award.
Ángeles, este premio de Sueño de Los Ángeles.
And this is significant
Y esto es muy
because
importante
this is,
porque
without
este es
question,
sin duda
the city of America's
la ciudad
hope
de la
and dreams.
esperanza de América,
I
de
said
sueños.
2 months ago
Dije hace 2
that Los
meses que
Angeles
Los
needs to
Ángeles
dream big,
tiene que
that we need to
soñar
be a city of purpose.
grande, tenemos que ser
And to
una
do
ciudad
that, we
con
need the
propósito para
dreamers.
hacerlo.
And this is
Necesitamos a
a
los
dreamer,
soñadores,
a
él es un
guy
soñador, una
who could see the
persona
world
que puede ver el mundo
before it came,
antes de
who could
que
close his eyes
llegó
and see
aquí,
the
puede
future.
cerrar sus ojos
He
y
knew
ver el
he'd be here
futuro. Él sabía
today.
que iba a estar aquí
And
el
we
día
are
de
so
hoy.
honored to present you
Nos sentimos
today with
muy,
the
muy honrados
Dream
de
of Los
presentarle a
Angeles
usted con
Award.
el Sueño de Los Ángeles, el premio del Sueño de Los Ángeles. Felicitaciones.
When I first heard about
Cuando
Robert
primero
Graham, it
escuché
probably was about
de Robert Graham fue hace
15
como 15
years ago.
años.
I think I first met
Pensé
him
que primero lo conocí,
about 10
creo que
years
primero lo
ago,
conocí hace 10 años.
and bumped into him a few times when I was Speaker of the California
Y
State
cuando
Assembly.
era orador electo de la
All
Asamblea
that
Estatal,
time
creo que me
that I
encontré con
bumped
él
into
cuántas
him,
veces todo ese tiempo
didn't
cuando
know
me
that
encontraba con él, no
he was born in
sabía que él
Mexico.
nació en México.
His name was Robert
Su
Graham.
nombre era Robert
Didn't know where he
Graham, no
was from.
sabía de dónde era.
And I can tell you,
Puedo decirles,
all of us
todos
have been to the
nosotros,
cathedral and
los
seen
que
those
han
beautiful
ido a la
doors,
catedral, han visto esas
who've
puertas
seen
tan lindas, los que han
who've been to
los que
an
han
art
ido
exhibit
a una exhibición de arte
in his honor.
en su honor.
We've seen all of
Hemos visto
the many varied
los muchos
artistic forms that
diferentes
he's
formas
been
artísticas
able to
que él ha
develop
podido
in his craft.
desarrollar en su
You can't help but
talento y
be
en su
so
campo. Uno
proud of him.
se siente muy
And
orgulloso
to
de
him
él. Para él,
today,
hoy,
we honor him
damos
with the hope
honor a él con la
of Los
esperanza.
Angeles Award.
El
His
premio
son
de
Stephen
esperanza
will
de Los
accept on
Ángeles,
his
hijo Stephen
behalf.
aceptará
He
de
will
parte
be
de
here,
él.
however.
Él estará aquí, sin
Robert
embargo,
Graham, who I've
Robert
developed
Graham,
a real
desarrollado
great friendship with.
una gran amistad
Stephen, if you
con
could
él.
come up
Stephen,
and
pase.
on behalf of the
De parte
City
de
of
la
Los
ciudad de Los
Angeles,
Ángeles presentamos con este premio de esperanza
and it's fitting
a su padre.
that on this,
Y es
the
muy
day of
adecuado que
Mexican
el día de la
independence,
independencia mexicana
that we would honor the son of
prestarle
Mexico,
honor al
born
hijo
a
de
Chilango,
México,
born
que
in Mexico
nació en
City.
la Ciudad de México.
Chilango, for
Un
those of you
chilango,
who don't
para
know,
los
is
que no saben,
is a slang term for
es una
people who were born in
expresión
Mexico
para personas
City.
que nacieron en la Ciudad de
A great
México,
artist,
un gran artista,
a great Angelino, a
un
great
gran angelino, un gran
Mexican,
mexicano
and a great
y
human
un
being.
gran ser humano.
Congratulations.
Felicitaciones.
In a second, we'll have
En
all
un
of
segundo,
our honorees
todos
make a
los que
statement,
están
but I do want
recibiendo
to
este honor
take a
van a hacer la
moment
prensa, pero
to
también quiero tomar un
recognize
momento para reconocer
Guadalupe
a
Rivera
Guadalupe
Marín,
Rivera Marín,
the daughter
la hija
of the incomparable
del
artist
incomparable artista
Diego Rivera.
Diego Rivera.
Thank you so much for your
Muchísimas
presence
gracias
today.
por su
Muchas
presencia aquí
gracias
con nosotros.
por el honor de estar aquí con nosotros. La hija de Diego Rivera, la muralista, el artista mexicano. No. El artista universal. I called him initially a Mexican painter and artist. He's one of the three muralists you all remember, the three greats, Rivera, Orozco, and Siqueiros. But these were great artists, not just from Mexico, known the world over. Because they were people's artists. They talked about the people's pain and their hopes and their dreams and their trials and tribulations. And it's a real honor to have you here today. And on behalf of the City of Los Angeles and on this, the day of Mexican independence, de parte de la ciudad de Los Ángeles, en este día de la independencia de México, por parte de mis colegas concejales, te doy este certificado de bienvenido a usted y a su familia, y en honor y en memoria de su papá, Diego Rivera. Gracias.
Diego Rivera.
Vamos a tomar un foto.
Just a little. Ay, perfecto.
Now I'd like to call up Dolores Huerta, George Lopez, and Robert Graham for a few words. Dolores.
Thank you very much, Antonio, and I want to thank all of the Los Angeles City Council for all the support that you've given over the years to the farm workers. I also wish to let folks know that I have a special guest with my group here today, and that is Max Kennedy, Robert Kennedy's son, who, as you know, the Kennedys have always been great friends,
grandes amigos.
great friends of the farm workers, great friends of the Mexican people, Latino people everywhere, and I am very, very thrilled. And I also just want to say that in my heart today, as in all of our hearts, I just want to remember a very special person who also had the spirit of Los Angeles, and whose birthday will be tomorrow, and that was our great friend Miguel Contreras. Okay? Miguel Contreras. So again, we know that the spirit of Los Angeles is great because it believes that the power will come for the workers, for the little people, and we know that they are the ones that we have to pay attention to. We have to let them continue to build their unions, to build their organizations, to make them strong. And the spirit of Los Angeles, under Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, will go all across the United States. ¡Que viva Los Ángeles! ¡Que viva México! ¡Que viva Antonio! Gracias.
De parte de la familia Rivera Marín, quiero dar, y de parte de la autora Guadalupe Rivera Marín, te quiero dar este
de parte de la autora
libro
Guadalupe Rivera Marín, me
I want to give this book on behalf of Guadalupe Rivera Marín and their family, and Diego Rivera the Red, in honor of today.
de Diego Rivera en honor del día de hoy.
And now the funniest man in America, George Lopez.
George Lopez.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
First of all, I think we should
Primero,
give,
creo que
on this day, Mexican Independence Day, Antonio Villaraigosa a huge round of applause just for defying the odds and becoming
lograr todos los
mayor.
obstáculos para llegar a ser alcalde.
You know, it took over 130 years, but
Tomó
it's
130
called
años, pero
Los
se
Angeles for a
llama Los
reason.
Ángeles por una
And
razón. Y
I think that
creo
this will
que
become
esto llegará
a
a
better
ser
city with
va a
Antonio
llegar a ser una mejor
as
ciudad
mayor
con Antonio
as
como
we
alcalde,
prepare to go into the future.
al prepararnos para ir
know,
hacia el futuro.
No offense to
No quiero
previous
ofender a
mayors,
previos
but
alcaldes,
you know, if you look at the
Si uno
city
mira
and
la
you see what it
ciudad
looks
y
like, it
mira
looks like Antonio
la demográfica,
Villaraigosa.
se
So
ve la cara de Antonio
let me just say, I mean, I saw a
Pero si
guy
yo
selling
miré
snow
a
cones in the
una
park that
persona
looked
que
like Antonio
vendía
Villaraigosa. So,
conos en el parque, se parece a Antonio Villaraigosa.
you know, and let's just say his line was longer than the guy
línea
selling
era más-
snow
su
cones
fila
that
era
looked like
más
Jim
larga.
Hahn.
Su fila era más
So-
grande que la fila de la persona que se
Hey.
parecía a Jim Hahn, el que
Hey,
vendía también conos.
believe me, I know where it is. Look at
El
that
que se
lady back
comportara
there.
bien.
Okay,
Mira
how do we
la
get to the
señora allá
microphone and
abajo.
cut it
Llegamos
off?
al micrófono y lo paramos.
I think you only need to
Okay,
look in the
solamente
eyes
tiene
of
que ver
Dolores
los
Huerta
ojos de
to see
Dolores
how
Huerta
far
para ver
we've come
todo lo
and
que hemos logrado y
to
hasta
see how
dónde
far
hemos
we
llegado y
still need
para
to go.
ver hacia
So
dónde llegaremos.
let us give her a round of applause
aplauso
for
para Dolores
her
Huerta,
life and
por
what
su
she's
vida,
given to all of
el
us.
cual ha sido entregada para todos nosotros.
Let me tell you this, if
decirles
you can
esto,
get
si
Mexicans to
ustedes
not eat
pueden-
grapes, that's huge because we love them very much.
Hacer que los mexicanos no coman
And,
uvas es muy grande porque
you know,
amamos
we
nosotros,
didn't
nos
cross
encantan
picket
las uvas.
lines and we
No cruzamos
sacrificed and we are the
líneas
hardest working people. And I say this, and
en
I've said this
huelga,
when nobody wanted to
nomás
hear
por
it.
eso yo dije esto cuando nadie
Latino
quiere
people
escucharlo. Las
touch
personas latinas
everything first
tocan
from the
todo
ground
primero,
up. And
del
we run
piso
this
hacia
country
arriba,
from the
nosotros
ground up. And we will continue,
somos
and
este
we're
país de
important
abajo
as
hacia
the
arriba,
doctors and
continuaremos,
the
somos tan importantes
scientists
como los
and the
doctores,
people who
científicos,
have
las personas
titles.
que
We
tienen
run this
títulos.
country
Somos
from
los
the
que
day
hacen que este país funcione
and
desde el
ground
día
floor.
y
Órale.
desde punto cero.
Also, I need to
También
thank my
necesito dar
wife,
gracias a mi
Ann, who's
esposa,
here,
Ann.
for you know,
Está aquí.
for loving me, but
Gracias a ella
also
por
on
amarme,
April
pero también
19th
el
for
19 de
donating
abril
a part of
por
her
donar
body
una
to
parte
me
de
so
su
that I
cuerpo
could
para mí,
live
para
and
así poder
continue
vivir y
to
continuar.
hey, you know, a lot of wives wouldn't give their
Muchos
husbands
esposos
the
no darían a
keys
su
to their
esposo
car,
las
but
llaves a su carro, pero las llaves
when
de
your
su carro,
wife
pero
gives you a
cuando su esposa
kidney,
le da un
that's,
riñón,
you
eso
know,
es.
what do you want now?
Ahora qué quiere.
Also,
quiere?
we've made a
También
commitment
hemos
to
hecho un
the
gran
National Kidney
compromiso a
Foundation
la
to become
Fundación
the
Nacional de
national
Riñones para
spokespeople for the
ser
Kidney Foundation,
los
so
oradores
that
principales
we
para la
could
Fundación de Riñones.
We can help
así
all
poder
people of
ayudar
all
a toda
colors,
la
not only
gente, todos
detect
colores,
kidney
solamente
disease early,
detectar
but to
enfermedades de riñones muy temprana
get
mente,
screened
pero
and get their
que sean
health in check,
examinados y
because,
que
you
su
know,
salud
most of
esté
us
bien,
think
porque muchos
that
de
if you
nosotros
sit in the
pensamos
sun,
que
you
uno,
feel
si uno
better.
se sienta en
You
el
know,
sol se siente uno mejor.
if you drink a
Si
7-Up,
tomo unos
you know,
7-Up.
you know, or it'll fix it, or sometimes we think, you know, I was
O
taking my
pensé que
blood pressure
estaba
medicine, but I
tomando mi
felt good,
medicina
so I
de
stopped
presión, me
taking
sentí,
it.
entonces la
You know,
dejé de
so,
tomar.
but we have a lot to do in that
Tenemos
regard.
mucho que
Also, I
hacer
have my
cuando
extended
estamos
family here
con
from
mi
my
familia,
television
mi-
show. The woman who plays my mother,
de-
Belita Moreno.
El show de
Here.
televisión, a la mujer que toma la parte de mi madre en mi show de televisión.
And also the
Tomaré
woman who
también a
plays
la
my
mujer
wife,
que es
Angie
mi
Constance
esposa,
Marie.
Angie
Thank you very much
Constance
for
Marie.
coming.
Muchas gracias por estar aquí.
And also, I want to say
También
that,
quiero
you know, when I was on the
decirles que
radio,
cuando
I
estaba en la
supported
radio,
Antonio
yo
Villaraigosa
apoyaba a
so
Antonio
much that the
Villaraigosa
general
tanto que el
manager
gerente general
pulled me into the office and
me metió a la
chastised me
oficina
for
y me
committing to
regañó por
somebody, but I committed to him
comprometerme,
then, I'm still
respaldar a
committed to
alguien,
him.
pero me
One of the
comprometí con él
greatest things that
en esa fecha y ahora
I
y
have
algo
is
muy
my
grande que
friendship
tengo
with
es mi
him,
amistad
and
con
how I
él,
want to make him
y la manera
proud,
que
and
quiero
how I want to make him
hacerlo
proud as a
sentir
friend, and how I
orgulloso
want to make
como
him proud
amigo,
as
y la
mayor
manera
of
que
Los
quiero
Angeles,
sentir
and how I want to
orgulloso
make
como la-
Los
de Los
Angeles
Ángeles,
proud
y
of
la
me,
manera que quiero
because I think that I
hacer
have
que
a
la
lot to
ciudad de
offer
Los
to the
Ángeles
city. You know, I'm a native
me
from
siento-
the San
siento
Fernando
orgullosa de
Valley. I
mí
was
y
born
tengo
in
mucho que ofrecer
General
a la
Hospital. I
ciudad
grew up
de
in
los
San
Ángeles,
Fernando,
yo
and,
crecí en
you
San
know, I still
Fernando y
go
aún
to my grandmother's house
voy
and
a
get
la
lemons
casa
off
de
the
mi
tree. So, you know, not a lot has
abuelita
changed.
y hija y
Sometimes I get them down
agarro
with a broom.
limones
And
del árbol y con una
also, when I was
escoba.
on the
También
radio, I
cuando yo
also
estuve
made
en
a
la radio
commitment
también
to
hice un
then Police
compromiso
Chief
y
Bernard
ese
Parks to
previo,
get involved because
jefe
African
Bernard Parks,
American and
porque los
Latino people, I think, should
afroamericanos
be
y
more
los
united in
latinos
Los
deben ser más
Angeles. So
unidos en Los
I
Ángeles.
wanted to say hello to,
Quería saludar al señor ex alcalde, ex
you know,
jefe de policía Parks.
and, you know, I told you this
Yo
every
le
time I
te
see
dije
you,
eso
but
que cada
whatever
vez
you
que te
need
digo,
for
pero
me to
cualquier
do,
cosa que
I
necesites
will
que
do.
yo haga,
And
yo lo
whatever
haré,
the city
cualquier
needs for me
cosa
to
que
do. And I
necesite
think
la
it's
ciudad que yo haga,
important that
creo
we
que es importante
look at the city and not
mirar la
turn our
ciudad
backs on the
y
city,
no
not turn
dar
our
la
backs
espalda a
on
la ciudad, no
any
dar la
particular
espalda a
neighborhood or
ninguna
any
comunidad en
particular
particular, ni
person,
persona en
is that we take
particular.
a
Debemos de
hands-on
tomar
approach to Los
una
Angeles and help
acción
reconstruct and
para
heal
ir a
this
Los
city
Ángeles
from
para
hand to hand and
construir
from
y
person to
sanar
person. So I
esta
want to
ciudad
thank
de mano a
everybody
mano.
who's
Muchas
behind me,
gracias a todos los que
all
están
the
atrás de
people
mí,
who
todas
are
las
on strike
personas
with
que
the Hilton. You got my
tienen huelga
support.
con Hilton, tienen mi
Wish you all the
apoyo,
best.
les deseo lo
And to
mejor.
all the
Y
unions
a
and all
todos
the
los
people,
sindicatos y a
thank
la
you very
gente,
much.
muchísimas
Órale.
gracias.
Viva la raza. Thank you.
Gracias.
On behalf of Diego
De parte
Guadalupe Rivera Marín,
de
and the
Diego
Rivera
Rivera
family, I
Guadalupe
would like to present
Rivera
you
Marín, me
this
gustaría
book on
presentarte
Diego
a usted
Rivera
este
the Red.
libro de Diego
Thank you
Rivera.
very much,
Muchísimas
everybody.
gracias.
Appreciate it. Gracias.
Gracias.
Stephen Graham,
Stephen Graham.
on behalf of his
De parte
father,
de su
Robert
papá,
Graham.
Robert Graham.
Well, my worst fears come true. I have to
Mi
follow
peor
George Lopez.
temor se ha hecho realidad. Tengo que seguir
On behalf of
hablando
my
después de
father,
George
Robert
López,
Graham,
de parte de mi padre, Robert
I'm
Graham.
very proud to
Me siento
receive
muy
this
orgulloso
award.
de recibir
And
este
he's
premio
out of the
y
country
él está en
now,
este país
and
ahorita
is very
y
sorry he's not here.
me siente mucho no
But
poder estar aquí,
I know
pero
he's very proud
sé
to
que
receive this
se
award.
siente muy orgulloso
So thank you very much.
por este premio. Muchísimas gracias.
By the way, those paintings, all of the council members
Todos los
will be
concejales
receiving
recibido
or have received.
o han recibido.
They're on your desk
Están en su
as we
escritorio.
speak. This is by Magda
Este es
Autofred.
Magda Autofred.
She designed our
Ella
Latino
diseñó
Heritage
nuestro
calendar. Is she here?
Calendario de herencia latina.
Magda,
Se encuentra aquí.
thank you so much.
Muchísimas gracias.
A great and beautiful piece of art.
Una pieza de arte muy linda.
Generals. It's now my pleasure
Ahora es un gran
because,
placer para
remember,
mí,
this
porque
is
recuerden,
Latino
este es
Heritage Month.
el
You
mes
wouldn't
de
know it by
herencia
the fact
latina.
that
No lo sabría por el hecho de que
the four of us on the council
cuatro
and
nosotros
the
los
mayor's
cuatro y
office
el
are all
concejal,
Latinos
alcalde, todos
of
somos
Mexican
latinos de
extraction, but as we well know,
herencia mexicana.
Los
Pero como
Angeles
todos
is
sabemos, Los Ángeles
blessed
ha sido
with
bendecido
people
con
from El
personas
Salvador,
de El Salvador,
Guatemala,
Guatemala,
yeah, and many other countries. And we thought it would be important today to bring our consul generals here because they represent these many communities from Latin America. Let me just say something, and I want to say it in English first, because today we celebrate Mexican independence, but we also celebrate the many contributions of the immigrants who have come to this country, the workers who have built this country, the farm workers who have fed this country, the people The people who came to this country like we did from Ireland and Italy and Russia and every other country in the world. They came here for a better life. Tony Cardenas has talked about his father from time to time, a gardener, 11 children. These are people that are the salt of the earth. And today, we honor Mexican independence, but we also honor those people who have come here, whose children have gone on to become doctors and lawyers and teachers and elected officials and, yes, even comedians. And all of us feel blessed on this day, and so, y quiero decir en español que es un orgullo presentar estos reconocimientos a los de los países de Latinoamérica que han venido a este país, y hoy celebramos la independencia de México, pero también las contribuciones de los inmigrantes de todos los países, no nomás México, de Chile, de El Salvador, de Guatemala, y por favor si puedo llamar al cónsul Fernando José Urrutia Concha, el cónsul general de Chile. De parte de la ciudad de Los Ángeles y mis colegas en el Consejo Municipal, te quiero dar este reconocimiento como un regalito de nuestro amor y agradecimiento. Gracias. Why don't you hold this?
Bueno, me voy a dirigir en español. Muy agradecido por este reconocimiento. Ustedes saben, Chile está de Fiestas Patrias también el próximo domingo, y muy orgulloso de recibir este reconocimiento de parte del alcalde Villarraigosa, a quien mucho queremos y apreciamos. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. We are very proud. Thank you of you.
Council Generals essentially said he was very thankful to receive this recognition on behalf of all of us who are here today. If I could call up the Honorable Vivian Verónica Pantin, Consul General of Honduras.
Cónsul General de Honduras.
En estos tiempos, quiero decir oficialmente
de parte de la ciudad de Los Ángeles,
gracias,
muchísimas gracias
por
enviarnos a tantos inmigrantes de Honduras a esta gran ciudad de Los Ángeles.
Gracias por la amistad que tenemos entre nuestros países, y estamos con ustedes en estos tiempos difíciles. Sabemos que hay muchos hondureños ahorita en Louisiana, en Mississippi, que son víctimas de la huracana Katrina. Estamos con ellos, y ofrecemos nuestro apoyo, nuestras oraciones y nuestros recursos y amor.
Y afecto. Felicitaciones.
On behalf of the government of Honduras and the people I represent, I want to thank you, the City of Los Angeles, for celebrating the independence not only of Mexico but the Central American countries. Thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias.
It's always an honor
Siempre es un honor
to present the Honorable Hugo Herrera, Consul General of El Salvador.
Cónsul General del Salvador.
En términos de números, hablamos mucho de la presencia de mexicanos aquí en los Estados Unidos y en Los Ángeles, pero sabemos que aquí en Los Ángeles tenemos la población más grande de salvadoreños afuera de El Salvador, y han contribuido tanto a este país, y hoy celebramos sus contribuciones y la independencia de El Salvador, a la democracia y la libertad.
Gracias. Quisiera agradecer al alcalde Villarraigosa por este honor que hace a toda la comunidad salvadoreña. Nos sentimos honrados porque venimos junto con los mexicanos. Nuestros indígenas vinieron con Cabrillo en 1542, así que tenemos algún tiempo de estar acá los salvadoreños. ¡Viva El Salvador! ¡Viva México! ¡Viva Los Ángeles!
The Council General thanked all of us for this honor and reminded us that on that first expedition, the Cabrillo expedition, that there were Salvadoreños present in that expedition as well. And that's, thank you for that reminder. That's a great tidbit I intend to use in the future. Muchas gracias. Ahora, el honorable Carlos José Carrión Coronel, cónsul general de Nicaragua. Hoy celebramos, como usted sabe, no nomás la independencia de México en este mes de la herencia latina, también celebramos lo que es la independencia de Nicaragua, uno de nuestros países centroamericanos que ha contribuido tanto a este país, y tenemos una población grande de nicaragüenses. Gracias por estar aquí, y es un honor dar este reconocimiento a la comunidad.
A su comunidad y por su comunidad.
Muchas gracias al honorable alcalde de la ciudad de
Los Ángeles,
a todos los concejales. Estoy muy agradecido en nombre de mi gobierno, de mi pueblo, de recibir este reconocimiento, y agradezco mucho aquí al alcalde por ser un gran alcalde latino, y esperamos que tengamos ese orgullo y nos dé mucho a todos los angelinos y a todos los latinos americanos. Gracias.
Council General Council General thanked the council and my office for this honor and said very nice things about me. Thank you very much. But today it's about you, and muchas gracias. We have a couple of folks who weren't able to be here today with us, and so now I'd like to bring up someone that has just been an incredible advocate for Mexican immigrants and here in the United States and here in Los Angeles, Ambassador, the Honorable Ambassador Ruben Alberto Beltrán Guerrero. Boy, that's a mouthful. Yeah. But I beat you. I beat you because
muchas palabras.
Ruben Alberto Beltrán Guerrero,
yo soy
Antonio Ramón Pedro Villarraigosa. But qué orgullo ser el primer alcalde de descendencia mexicana en tantos años, aquí con mis colegas, con el presidente del Consejo Municipal, Alex Padilla, con Tony Cárdenas, con Ed Reyes, los dos concejales, todos hijos de inmigrantes, todos tienen un orgullo de ser americanos, pero también un orgullo de tener antepasados y descendencia mexicana. Y hoy celebramos, hoy es el 16 de septiembre, ayer celebramos el grito con usted, y ahora como una ciudad queremos decir a nuestro lindo patria de México, gracias y felicitaciones en este día de la independencia, pero gracias por sus inmigrantes que nos han dado tanto a este país. Y de parte de la ciudad de Los Ángeles, te felicito.
Felicitaciones.
Well, that concludes
Esto termina
our presentation.
nuestra presentación
Again,
De nuevo,
it was very much
muchísimas gracias.
a chill thrill, if you will,
Fue un gran
to lead this
escalofrío poder
presentation today, and I'm looking forward to the tremendous events. And
que se haya acabado esta
Margie
presentación de hoy.
Reese,
Espero continuar con los
the General Manager for Cultural
eventos
Affairs,
de
is
la gerente general de
going to put on a
asuntos
great
culturales.
show in the next month, and I really,
Reese
we have a
va
calendar.
está
I
organizando
really
un gran show durante
encourage
el mes
all
y
of
queremos
you to
aclararles,
take part
pido a
in
todos
this
ustedes que
great
tomen parte
culture
en
that
esta gran
is,
cultura,
you know, Latino
que es
heritage.
herencia
So honored
latina. Es un
to
gran
be here.
honor
And
poder estar
now,
aquí y ahora
if we could have
gustaría
some
de
music
nuevo
from these
escuchar más música de
wonderful,
estas lindas,
talented,
talentosas,
gifted, and beautiful artists, Mariachi Divas.
lindas artistas, Mariachi Viva.
All right, thank you all very much. We're going to resume presentations. Thank you very much.
Mr. Zine, would you ask the clerk to call the roll?
Pardon me? Call the roll, please.
Cardenas, Garcetti, Gruel, Han, Labange, Parks, Perry, Reyes, Rosendahl, Smith, Whiteside, Padilla. 12 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Presentations, Council President Padilla.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Colleagues, I know it's a little crowded and a little hectic here this morning, but I wanted to take advantage of the time that I'm actually up here at the podium for a brief introduction of some folks that are here today.
If we could just have the chambers, since we've resumed the council meeting. I know we have great exuberance today.
Su atención, por favor.
I think the Sergeant at Arms will take care of business. And when it quiets down, we will resume the presentations. We appreciate your cooperation. Thank you.
Continuaremos con esta presentación. Gracias por su cooperación. Muchísimas gracias.
If we can please have the Sergeant at Arms
Los sargentos
have the
mantengan
departing guests
cierto
quietly
orden en la
leave,
sala, que salgan los
and we can
invitados
resume the
más en silencio
presentations.
para volver a nuestras presentaciones.
Councilman.
Colleagues, if
Colegas,
you'd indulge me with your attention, I think it's
Con su
only fitting on the
atención
heels of this
creo que es adecuado
presentation that we did
al final de
kicking off
esta
Latino
presentación
Heritage Month, and
acerca del mes de
specifically
herencia latina,
some of the comments that were made
específicamente
by the
los comentarios que se
mayor,
hicieron por
by
el
some of our
alcalde,
honorees
por
this year
ciertas
about the
personas que estuvieron en el honor el
contributions
día de hoy
of
sobre las
immigrants and
contribuciones de
Latino
inmigrantes
community
en la
to our
comunidad latina,
economy,
en nuestra economía.
comments like
Comentarios
there's
como
very few
que
products
hay muy
that are
pocos
manufactured in
productos
this
que
country
son
that don't come through the hands
hechos en este
of
producto que no
Latinos
pasan
and
tras
immigrants.
las
How
manos de inmigrantes
early on in the
latinos y
food
como
chain, it's farm workers, many Latinos who,
desde el principio de la comida
through their
muchos
tremendous labor, are able to put
granjeros
quality
latinos a través de su
produce on
trabajo
the
han
tables
podido
each and every night to
poner
every American
productos de
family
calidad todas las noches a
at
todas
an
las
affordable
familias americanas
cost.
en un costo
A little bit further down that
razonable.
food chain, there are folks who work
Hay
in the hotels of
en
this
esta
city
cadena de
and
comida
throughout
hay
the
personas que
region,
trabajan en los
throughout the
hoteles de
country,
esta ciudad, en
who
la
do a
región del
tremendous
país,
job
hacen un gran trabajo,
who do a tremendous
hacen
job
un
day
gran
in and
trabajo
day
día
out
tras día,
through their service,
a
through
través
their
de su
hard
servicio, a través
work.
de su trabajo
And
duro,
there's a
y
few
hay
here
unos
today,
cuantos aquí el día de hoy,
2 or 3 of which are going to speak
dos o tres
to bring
que
light
harán
to
su
a particular
presentación y
plight that they're asking for our
hablarán
help in.
sobre
So
una lucha en
if I can
particular,
ask for
nos
the
piden nuestra asistencia.
representatives
Quiero
of the
pedirle a los
group here
representantes
to
del
please come
grupo aquí
forward.
que por favor pasen.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
Mi nombre es Violeta Real. Yo estoy aquí y otros de mis compañeros. Trabajo en Los Ángeles, Glendale North, Hilton. Tengo trabajando 5 años.
Good morning. My name is Violeta Real, and I'm here with some of my coworkers that we all work at the Glendale North Los Angeles Hilton, and I've been working at this hotel for the past 5 years.
Trabajo el tercer turno como lobby attendant y night cleaner. Yo soy comité de la unión.
I work the third shift as a lobby attendant as a night cleaner, and I am a committee of the union.
Vivo en Cypress Park en Los Ángeles.
I live in Cypress Park in Los Angeles.
El propósito por que estoy aquí es porque vengo a pedirles apoyo.
The reason that I am here today is to ask for your support.
Yo y mis compañeros estamos organizando la unión.
Me and my coworkers are organizing a union.
La razón por que estamos haciendo esto es porque necesitamos respeto en nuestro lugar de trabajo.
The reason that we are doing this is because we need respect in our workplace.
Nosotros recibimos maltratos verbales y emocionales de parte de los managers y supervisores.
We receive bad treatment emotionally and verbally from our managers and our supervisors.
También queremos beneficios como aseguranza para nosotros y nuestras familias.
We also want health benefits for us and our families.
Yo necesito terapia para mis rodillas porque se me inflaman mucho por exceso de trabajo.
I also need therapy for my knees because they are very swollen because of all the work that I have to do every day.
La aseguranza cuesta $200 al mes para la familia. Yo solo gano $9.86 por hora.
The health insurance costs me $200 a month for me and my family, and I only make $9.86 an hour.
Así es que no puedo pagar aseguranza para mi familia.
And that's why I cannot afford to pay health insurance for my family.
Yo tengo 2 hijos y ellos tienen healthy families. Y no es justo que una corporación tan grande como puede pagar estos beneficios para sus trabajadores.
I have 2 children, and both of my children are in healthy families, and I don't think that it's fair that the corporation that is so big and makes so much money cannot pay for the benefits for their workers.
Cuando la compañía se empezó a dar cuenta que estábamos organizándonos, empezó a hablar mal de la unión.
When the company found out that we were organizing to have a union, they started talking really bad about the union.
Ellos dicen que no necesitamos unión, que podemos perder beneficios que ya tenemos.
They say that we don't need a union. They say that we can lose the benefits that we already have.
El martes pasado, un comité, Francisco Camacho, llevó un pastel para los trabajadores.
Last Tuesday, Francisco Camacho, one of the committees, took a cake inside the hotel for the workers.
El pastel decía, bienvenidos a nuestra unión. El asistente de la General Manager, Gary Lema, cuando vio el pastel, borró las letras con un cuchillo.
The cake said, "Welcome to our union." The assistant general manager, Gary Lema, when he saw the cake, he took a knife and scraped off the letters.
Se llevó a Francisco a su oficina para disciplinarlo. Creo que a ellos no les pertenece decidir si la unión es buena o no para nosotros.
Then they took Francisco into the office to discipline him. I think, right, that we have the right to decide whether we want a union or not, and it's not their decision.
Nosotros los empleados de Glendale North Los Angeles Hilton ya tomamos una decisión y es que queremos unión en nuestro lugar de trabajo.
We, the workers at the Glendale North Los Angeles Hilton, already took a decision and took a stance, and we decided that we want to have a union in our workplace.
Y por primera vez exigimos que respeten nuestra decisión.
And for the first time, we demand that the company respect our decision.
Nosotros sabemos que el nuevo hotel en el Convention Center va a ser un Hilton.
We know that the new Convention Center Hotel in downtown is going to be a Hilton.
Y ellos no van a pelear contra la unión.
And the company is not going to fight against the union.
No podemos comprender cómo ellos nos están negando nuestra unión, pero quieren permitir tener la unión en un hotel que todavía no se ha construido.
We don't understand why the company won't let us have a union in our hotel, but they are going to permit to have a union in a hotel that has not even been constructed yet.
Necesitamos su apoyo y que hablen con la corporación de Hilton, que tiene que respetar nuestra decisión a tener la unión.
We need your support to talk to Hilton and let them know that they need to respect our decision and we want to have a union in our workplace.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Muy buenos días, concejales. Mi nombre es Angela Reed. Yo he trabajado en el Los Ángeles North Periodo y soy bartender ahí. Yo también soy miembro del comité del sindicato. Como muchos de mis compañeros de trabajo, yo vivo en el área de Los Ángeles. El primer problema en nuestro hotel es que muchos nosotros tenemos varios trabajos porque no podemos vivir y sobrevivir en Los Ángeles con los pocos sueldos que el LA Hilton está pagando. El hotel gana mucho dinero y aún así pagan a nuestros empleados sueldo mínimo. Y en el mismo turno yo trabajo como bartender, una servidora, un concierge y también limpio mesas, aunque yo recibo propinas, aún vivo con cheque tras cheque. Es muy difícil salirme de dedos a través de trabajar en el hotel. Los bartenders en el sindicato de Beverly Hills ganan $4 más la hora que nosotros, pero ellos solamente hacen un trabajo, el de bartending. Si me pagaran ese sueldo, podría salir de vivir una vida más cómoda y no preocuparme acerca de todas las facturas todos los meses. He decidido irme del Hilton hasta que me di cuenta del sindicato. Yo me quedé porque creo que esa es una causa que vale la pena luchar. Desde que empezamos a organizarnos públicamente el año pasado, Hilton ha hecho el ambiente de trabajo muy tenso y muy incómodo. La administración ha aumentado seguridad, están llevando a cabo reuniones, están haciendo historias falsas acerca del sindicato, están volviendo los empleados uno al otro, llamando al comité los miembros del comité de sindicato terrorista. No somos terroristas, somos trabajadores. Yo estoy muy contenta que el Consejo Municipal está asegurando que el Centro de Convenciones Hilton y el Centro de Los Ángeles va a ser está bajo sindicato, pero es justo nosotros que trabajamos en Hilton, 9 millas de distancia, al mismo tiempo nos están negando el derecho de organizarnos libremente. Les pido que todos tomen un momento y piensen en esto. La misma compañía, mismo trabajo, pero aún nos están tratando como ciudadanos de segunda clase. Por favor, exijan que la corporación de Hilton nos dé los mismos derechos que les han dado a las otras propiedades del sindicato y pronto les daremos otra convención. De Los Ángeles, también es muy importante que todos sepan que en una semana tenemos 74% del hotel ha firmado una solicitud diciendo que ellos quieren un sindicato en su trabajo.
And we are just
Y solamente
asking
le estamos
that you all
pidiendo que
support us
todos nos apoyen
and help us
y nos
make
ayuden
Hilton listen to
a hacer
us.
que Hilton nos
Thank you
escuche.
very much.
Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you.
To conclude this,
Al terminar este,
colleagues, technically, I
colegas,
believe we
técnicamente
can,
creo que
receive this
vamos a poder
testimony,
recibir este
public
testimonio
comment,
en el comentario
of
del
today's
público
meeting.
de la reunión del
We
día
had
de
a
hoy.
wonderful
Pero tuvimos
opening
una
presentation
linda
of,
presentación de
Latino
apertura
Heritage
de herencia
Month. But
del
as
mes de
I
herencia
said
latina,
at
pero
the
como he
beginning
dicho
of
al
that
principio de esta
presentation,
presentación,
as much as we're proud of it, as far as
aunque
we've
nos
come,
sentimos
we still have a lot of
muy
work
orgullosos
to
de
do.
esto y hemos
This is a
logrado mucho,
perfect
tenemos mucho
example.
trabajo que hacer. Es
Thank
el
you.
ejemplo
Thank you all for
perfecto.
being
Gracias
here.
a todos
Thank you,
ustedes
Mr.
por estar
President.
aquí, señor presidente.
Next presentation, Councilman
Presentación,
Wendy Gruhl, I
Wendy Gruhl.
understand. We're still on public comment? Oh, I'm sorry. Bill. Wendy, one moment.
Señor
Bill.
Rosendahl.
You know, this is a very serious
Este es
matter.
un asunto muy
When we
serio.
celebrate
Cuando
Latino
celebramos
Heritage Month,
herencia
this is the
latina,
bottom
el mes de
line,
herencia
which is
latina,
right
esto es la
here
conclusión,
today.
está aquí
I'm
el
very
día de hoy.
proud
Me
that
siento
you're
muy
here,
orgulloso
and
de
for
que
the
ustedes estén
people
aquí,
to know
para que las personas
outside
sepan.
that the
Están
Hilton
fuera que el
Hotel
Hotel
chain
Hilton, que la cadena de
corporate
Hotel Hilton, la
office is in
oficina
Beverly Hills. And we here on the
sucursal
City
está en Beverly
Council
Hills y
next
aquí
week
nosotros aquí en
are
el
going
Consejo
to be
Municipal
dealing
permanente
with the
tenemos que
issue
tratar con
of
la
the
cuestión
hotel and the convention
del hotel y
center.
el centro de
And it
convenciones y
appears
parece
that the Hilton
que
chain
la
will be
cadena de
getting that
Hilton
hotel. So
va
I say to the
a
Hilton chain,
recibir ese
beware
hotel.
that
Les
if you
digo a la
don't
cadena
move
Hilton que
forward
tengan cuidado,
in a
si no proceden de una manera
civilized and absolutely an American
civilizada
way
y de
with
manera
the Hilton
americana
Hotel
con el Hotel
in
Hilton
Glendale,
en
you might
Glendale,
just
quizás
wonder what will happen
van a
here on
pensar
the
que lo que va a
council floor.
ocurrir
I wanna
aquí
say
en
a
el
few other things.
Consejo
Right
Municipal
now,
que
the
unas cuantas
Beverly
cosas
Hills
ahorita.
Hilton,
El Hilton de
which is
Beverly Hills, el cual
unionized,
tiene
there's free
sindicato,
family coverage.
hay
The
cobertura para toda la
Glendale
familia. El
Hilton,
Glen de
the
Hilton,
family
no
has to pay
sindicato, los tiene que pagar $248 al
A
mes.
starting housekeeper hourly wage at the
Una que
Beverly
limpia
Hilton Hotel is $11.42.
cuartos en Beverly Hills es
At the Glendale
$11.40.
Hilton,
En el
it's
Glendale de Hilton es
$6.75.
$6.65.
Starting bartenders,
Empezando,
it's
los que empiezan de bartenders,
$12.59
$12.59 en el hotel es en el 1475, en el hotel en no sindicato. Hay diferencias muy grandes. La cantidad de trabajo, el trabajo en el hotel Beverly Hilton tiene 13 cuartos que limpiar. El Glendale de Hilton tiene 16 cuartos que limpiar. Eso no es justo. Que las personas tienen que reconocer que América es fuerte y tenemos un movimiento fuerte de sindicato, una media clase fuerte y tenemos una América fuerte. Gracias a ustedes por estar aquí.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Okay, we're going to resume presentations. Councilman Wendy Gruhl, and you have a
La
presentation
presentación
joined by
junto
our
con
distinguished
nuestro
mayor.
distinguido alcalde.
Thank you, and I know
Muchas
the mayor
gracias.
has
Yo
a
sé que
busy
acá tiene
schedule,
un
but he
horario muy
wanted to
difícil,
be
pero
part of this,
quería
so thank
tomar
you
parte
for
de esto.
those
Muchísimas
colleagues. I think I
gracias
may
por
have
eso,
jumped
colegas,
ahead of,
quizá.
but I'd like to ask
Me
the
gustaría
mayor
pedirle al
and ask
alcalde
Gordon Davidson
y a
and his
Gordon
wonderful
Davidson y a
wife,
su linda
Judy, if
esposa
they could come
Judy,
up for a
que
moment,
pasen
and
por
Marilyn.
favor. Y alcalde, a usted primero.
Oh. Well, I didn't know that we were actually
No sabía
doing this
que
today, but I
estamos
do
haciendo
want
esto
to
el día
say
de hoy,
a
pero
couple
quiero
things
decir unas cuantas
about
cosas
Gordon Davidson.
acerca de Gordon Davidson.
I've had the
Yo he tenido la
opportunity
oportunidad
to know
de
Gordon for
conocer a
about
Gordon como por
10 years,
10 años,
but I've had an
pero he
opportunity
tenido una oportunidad
to know
de
of
conocer
his work and his
su
talents for
trabajo
more
y su
than that.
talento por más.
You've heard me say many
Ustedes han
times
escuchado decir
that
muchas veces
my mother
que mi
never
madre
owned her own home.
nunca tuvo su propia casa.
She didn't own a car,
Ella
rode a
no
bus
tenía
her whole life.
carro, siempre anduvo en
But she had
autobús toda su vida, pero yo
tickets
tenía
to the Mark
tickets
Taper Forum.
al Mark
She was
Taper
an
Forum, al
incredible
Forum. Mark Taper
Renaissance
era
woman.
una mujer de
Loved,
renovación increíble.
her music,
Amaba su
her
música, su
poetry, art,
poesía,
and loved the
arte y
theater.
amaba el teatro.
And she'd take me
Ella
from
me
time to
llevaba de
time,
vez en cuando,
in fact, a lot of
de
times.
hecho muchas veces,
And I got to see your
y
work.
yo miré su
And
trabajo.
what was
Y
so special
lo que fue muy
about that
especial
work,
acerca de ese
you know, you think
trabajo,
of the Music
cuando
Center,
pienso
it's
acerca
a
del
great
Centro de
place,
Música, es un
a
lindo
lot of
lugar.
people who love the
Muchas
arts
personas
go
que
there,
aman
but
las
it
artes van ahí,
sometimes
pero algunas veces
feels a
se
little
siente un poquito
kind of away from it all.
alejado
And this was a
del mundo
man
y
who
este era un
understand
hombre
that he had to
que
bring
entendía que
art
tenía
to the
que
people,
traer arte
that
al
he had
pueblo. Él tenía
to be on the cutting
que
edge of
estar
trying to
siempre
connect
a lo
this
más
very
actualizado para
diverse
conectar esta
and
muy
multiracial city
una ciudad
with its art, and its
multiétnica
artists,
y muy diversa con
and
su arte,
its
sus
dreams, and
mensajes,
hopes and
sus sueños,
aspirations.
aspiraciones
So when I was
y
told, even though
esperanzas.
I'm
Cuando me
running out
dijeron
and
que
late,
estoy un
that
poco
we were
tarde,
honoring you
me
today, I
dijeron que te
wanted to
estamos
honor
prestando honor,
you as
quería
well.
también prestarte este
Gordon,
honor.
you are a
Gordon, tú
great,
eres un gran
great
líder
leader in Los
en
Angeles,
Los Ángeles,
a great artist,
un gran artista,
a great human being,
un gran ser humano,
someone who cares
alguien que le
passionately
interesa
about the world around
apasionadamente
him, who's
sobre el
got
mundo a su
a better
alrededor,
half
alguien que
as well,
tiene también su
who's always
esposa,
there,
él siempre está
right
ahí
by his side.
a su lado.
And I just want to say on behalf
Solamente quiero decir
of the
de
city of
parte de
Los
la ciudad de
Angeles,
Los Ángeles,
congratulations.
felicitaciones.
We're looking forward to
Esperamos
working with
continuar
you
trabajando
in the
contigo en el
future
futuro
because,
porque
he's left one chapter
él ha
and,
dejado un capítulo y
I believe he's going to write another, and I hope to work with him on that next chapter. God bless you.
él ha dejado un capítulo y espero poder trabajar con él en el siguiente capítulo. Que Dios te bendiga.
Mr. Mayor,
Señor
you're always
alcalde,
welcome
usted
here in
siempre
Chambers.
es
Don't be a
bienvenido aquí
stranger.
en el salón.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I want to just
de
add a few
alcaldía, no
comments.
sea extraño.
I was
Gracias, quiero agregar unos cuantos
pleased
comentarios. Me
to
da mucho
have
gusto
today before you Gordon
tener el día
Davidson,
de hoy
who's a
en
true visionary
Gordon
in Los
David.
Angeles.
Es un
For
gran
over
visionario de
30
Los Ángeles.
years,
Por más
Los
de 30
Angeles has
años, Los
benefited
Ángeles
from
se ha
the
beneficiado de la
creativity,
creatividad,
humor, and artistry
humor
of Gordon
y
Davidson. Gordon has always
sus
paid homage to
obras de arte.
and celebrated
Él
the
siempre ha
diversity of
celebrado
Los
la
Angeles,
diversidad de
which is
Los
evident in
Ángeles,
his
el cual
body
es
of work.
evidente en
And I
su
think it's so appropriate
trabajo.
that
Es
we're
muy
here
adecuado estar
on
aquí
Latino Heritage Day.
en el Día
In
de Herencia Latina
1967,
Gordon
helped found the
ayudó
founded the Mark
o
Taper
fundó
Forum.
el
Under
Mark
his
Taper Forum.
leadership,
Bajo su
he helped
liderazgo,
build
él
the
ayudó a
regional theater
construir el
system and
sistema de
made the
teatros
Taper known
regionales.
as one of the top
Hizo que el
theaters,
Taper fuera uno de
producing
los
hundreds
teatros
of productions
principales,
and receiving
produciendo
countless
cienes
awards.
de producciones
In
y recibió muchísimos
1977,
premios. En el
the Taper won the
77, el
Tony
Taper
Award
ganó
for
el premio
theatrical
Tony por
excellence.
excelencia de
In
teatro. En
1989, Mr.
1989, el
Davidson
señor
was
Davidson
tasked with managing the Amundsen Theater, and from there he
administró el
launched the Kirk
teatro
Douglas Theater
Amundsen
in
y luego empezó el
2004.
teatro de Kirk
Two
Douglas
of
en
his
2004. Dos de
productions
sus
were honored with
producciones
Pulitzer
recibieron honores
Prizes in
con
drama,
premios
the
Pulitzer y con
Kentucky
drama,
Circle, and
Kentucky
Angels in
Circle y
America.
Angels in
A
America.
first. Thank you. Melrose Larry Green, a first for plays
primero
produced outside of New York.
De esos
Mr. Davidson went on to win a Tony for his role as the director of The Shadow Box and a nomination for The Children of a Lesser God. In
también ha recibido varios
1993, he was awarded with the
premios
Casting
por
Society of
otras
America's Lifetime Achievement Award, an
presentaciones
honorary gold card
de
membership
teatro,
to
obras de
ATSI,
teatro.
and the Mr. Abbott Award for his lifetime achievement. He's a member of the American Academy of the Arts and Sciences, served as president of Theater Communications Group and the League Resident Theaters. His talents are recognized locally, across the state, and nationally. In 1999, he received the Governor's Awards for his contributions to the performing arts in California, and then President Clinton appointed him to the National Council on the Arts. And in January 2000, he was inducted to the Theater Hall of Fame. It is for these and many more contributions in the world, to the world of art and theater that it's been my honor to present to him this recognition for all that he has done for the city of Los Angeles in the area of the arts, and ask that you join me in giving him a great round of applause. And he is joined by his lovely wife, Judy, and Rachel. His daughter was here, and granddaughter, Ariel, as well, but had to leave. The important thing is the granddaughter. But I just wanted to so recognize you here in the city of Los Angeles for all of your efforts. And so thank you. I'd like you to say a few words.
Very much. I'm very moved by this. I mean, partly because it's happening on this day, and part of the feeling that even the city council is a kind of theater where people speak their minds, speak their passions, and share. And I accept this really in respect to all the people who have come to the Taper and helped me develop plays, Zoot Suit and Chavez Ravine and Radio Golf that's on now, plays that are willing to say the world is a bigger world than sometimes people think it is. And I'm happiest when the event on the stage and the audience better represents who we are in the city of Los Angeles. If my work has done something to help that and break down barriers and be more inclusive and tell the stories, that's the job of those of us in the arts. And the only thing I urge you, is as we go down the road to keep arts in the schools, to keep, so that my granddaughter and other granddaughters and other children can taste what it means to be both expressive and to be part of a larger world, a larger idea of the world. And we have to start with that.
and they will be the people who will come here and receive their own recognition. Thank you very much on this occasion. I really appreciate it. I love the City Council. We've worked well together over the years, and it's a big symbol for me. Los Angeles is a city that you can't get your arms around it, and I like that because that means you have to keep working to find ways to help define it. So I'll continue, even if I'm not at the Mark Taper Forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilmember LaBonge. Mr. Davidson, Councilmember LaBonge, Tom LaBonge.
Congratulations for all the work and the, sometimes we honor people who are from the tree people and planting trees or doing other community projects. Your work in the theater community and the art community is like planting great trees because now they have deep roots in Los Angeles. You've done a tremendous job and to carry on, and I love what you said about children because it's the art programs. It's the art programs that I remember. Unfortunately, I did get a D in high school art, but that D, Jim Burke was the teacher, but the D made me a better student, and I have developed some artistic value in an area of photography, but it's so important to have the art component in our lives, and art is all around. I like what you said about the City Council. I know you had great relationships for those of us who sat in the past, like John Ferraro and Joel Wax and Joy Pikus and others, but this building is art. All around us is art, and we have to teach people to see that and to appreciate it, and you've done that for many, many years. And Gordon, I congratulate you. Wendy, thank you for bringing this beautiful couple down. Thank you for your inspiration, and have a great next chapter. Thank you.
Thank you.
And my wife, Bridget, says hello. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Our next presentation will be, Captain, your turn has come. Tony Cardenas. Tony Cardenas. And the fine Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Captain.
Thank you. And thank you, Los Angeles, for participating in all of what's going to go on in the next coming month. I think it's fitting and appropriate that this dedication happened today, this presentation to Captain Irma Becerra with the LA County Sheriff's Department. She's a dedicated, hardworking, very helpful individual to her colleagues and to the community at large. And those are the kinds of things that she learned growing up, which brought her to the point that she's at today after 25 years of being a sheriff. Irma Becerra has known me since I was in diapers. And our families have known each other for far, far longer. And Irma Becerra is one of the people that I've looked up to for a long, long time. And every day, every year, as I read in the newspaper recently that brought on this presentation, she has created another milestone and broke another barrier, not only for herself, but an entire community. So let me tell you a little bit about who we're honoring today. Irma Becerra started working for the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department as a sheriff in 1980. She was immediately promoted within a year. She moved up the ranks, and Irma Becerra began working with the Substance Abuse Narcotics Education in the Field Operations Region 2 Firestone area in April of 1989. As a SANE deputy, obviously she's sane, but the program SANE, SANE, she was assigned to the Los Angeles Unified School District in South Los Angeles. She was responsible for teaching the anti-drug and anti-gang curriculum to over 1,500 students per year in 7 elementary schools. She did that task and she did it well. She continued to move on to other duties and responsibilities and ultimately culminated on March 7th, 2004, Irma Becerra became captain of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department of the Pico Rivera Sheriff's Station. Upon becoming captain of this office, Captain Irma Becerra became the first Latina to command a field office in the LA County Sheriff's Department, the largest sheriff's department in the country. She has over 100,000 constituents under her responsibility and over 100 people who work under her leadership. On August 14, 2005, Captain Irma Becerra was recognized nationally by the National Latino Peace Officers Association and was named as Latina of the Year, and obviously through that resume and those accolades, appropriately so. Irma Becerra is a perfect example of what families of immigrants do positively for this country, and how in every walk of life, in every office, in every organization, you will find leadership that culminates and comes from the kind of leadership of good parenting and good families who raise their children proper. And with her today, speaking of children, is her son Daniel, who's breaking barriers in his own right in the film industry, and also she brought two of her colleagues with her from her office who are here to support her as well. So with that, I'd like to ask Irma Becerra to say a few words, and then we'll give you your certificate.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is quite an honor. I am very humbled and very, very touched by this presentation. I really do appreciate it. As an immigrant from Mexico, I'm one of those people who came here not speaking English and picked it up along the way, as I think you might be able to tell a little bit. I'm very, very humbled. I really do appreciate this honor. If I may say something in Spanish. Sure. Muchísimas gracias por este reconocimiento del fondo de mi corazón. Muy agradecida.
Thank you. Congratulations. And with that, we present Captain Irma Becerra on her fine accomplishments of her 25-year career as a sheriff, and we look forward to future accolades and accomplishments, as we know they will come, many to come into the future. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cardenas. Our next presenter is Councilmember Zine.
Yes. You want to say something? Go ahead, say something. Go ahead, it's all right. You don't want to upstage the councilman, huh? I got you on the speaking charge here. Thank you, Madam Chair. We're going to do a presentation, and I appreciate the patience, but since you're retired, you have a lot of patience now, right? Lots of time. Lots of time, so it's okay. Well, we have joining us Robert Eustrom, and joining Robert, Pam Mooney, Antoinette, okay, well, you're up here too, Antoinette. How about Jeff Whitmore, Revenue Manager? We have your wife, Barbara. Where's Barbara? Your mother? Oh, I'm sorry, your mother is Barbara. How about Jody? My wife is home. How about Casey? She's expecting any time. She's expecting any time? She's your daughter. And how about Nicholas? Nicholas, you a city employee yet? All right, we got job openings. LAPD, fire department, whatever you want. Robert is retiring from the city of Los Angeles with more than 32 years of service as a dedicated employee. August 19, 2005. That's when you left? All right, so you're now in full retirement mode. Okay. Began his career April 16, 1973, as a parking meter collector in the office of the city clerk's tax and permit division, promoted to senior parking meter collector November 24, 1975. Were you around then? You weren't even born. Okay. Robert promoted to tax and permit field representative December 24, 1979, promoted to senior tax and permit field representative February 16, 1986. Then promoted up to management analyst, Department of Aging, October 20th, 1990. What do you think about that, Mom? Department of Aging, taking care of his mom. Promoted to management analyst 2 as the first whistleblower hotline investigator for the city's Ethics Commission, October 1991. He returned to the office of the city clerk's Tax and Permit Division, 91, promoted to principal tax and permit field representative, and you folks bring in all the money to keep the system going. So you had all these staff positions, but you didn't do anything exciting except, and we get to that point, promoted to chief tax and permit 1 on November 2002. Received a commendation letter from Chief Tax and Permit 1 Sylvia Nesbitt for being cited as an exceptional city employee in a monthly business publication. Then you received letter of commendation 1993, providing excellent presentation to the IRS agents. Now, we all love those folks, regarding business tax processing and for coordinating the initial business improvement district sweep in San Pedro area. Those are people who are trying to skirt and not pay their taxes. And then you received a commendation from Election Division Chief for providing excellent service in the war room during the 1999 city elections. War room. That means the battlefield for the elections. Okay, that's not where the politicians go. Received a letter of commendation, Director of Finance, for coordinating the 2003 field enforcement revenue sweep, which generated $4.1 million in tax revenue. You then received, this is a very prestigious award, City Career Service Award for Heroism in 1989, and the City Clerk's Outstanding Service Award in 1989 for assisting a senior citizen who had been assaulted by a transient, and for also assisting the LAPD in the apprehension of the suspect. So you caught this thug. Now he's hopefully paying his price in jail. So your leadership, skills, knowledge, and dedicated efforts resulted in the enforcement section various new discovery programs, generating more than $100 million in newly discovered business tax revenue. We are commending you for your dedication and for your outstanding contributions to the City of Los Angeles during your 32-year career, and extend best wishes for a long and happy retirement and many, many pension checks that you so rightfully deserve, because you devoted all those years to the people of Los Angeles in those various assignments. And I'm sure your mom is glowing, as she is. Your little boy, all those years, and now retires after this career. So Robert, on behalf of the mayor, my colleagues, the city attorney, the controller, all the folks from the city family, we want to congratulate you on your retirement. And I love, as the personnel director, to acknowledge folks that have over 30 years of service. You've definitely done your commitment to the people of Los Angeles. Congratulations to you. And we're going to hear from you in a moment. But first, Office of Finance, there you go.
I just want to say, on behalf of the Office of Finance, Bob was a dedicated employee. He was very committed to doing his job, and he did it very well. We're really going to miss him. He's been an asset to my department and has been very instrumental, as you've heard, in bringing in millions of dollars of revenue to the city to pay for a number of services for the constituents of the City of Los Angeles. Bob, we're really going to miss you, and I just want to thank you for everything you've done for the City of Los Angeles and certainly for the Office of Finance. Thank you.
No, before we hear from you, we normally have a protocol. We need to hear from your mom, the one who created this whole opportunity for you.
I just want to say thank you very much for acknowledging him. He is a very, very hard worker, and as you can tell, and when I consider how he started collecting the change out of the meters and worked his way up, I think that's something to be very proud of. Thank you so much.
Was he always a good boy? Yes. All right. He wasn't always a good boy. Okay, Robert. Your mom is going to rat on you now.
Thank you, Councilmember Zion. I really appreciate the recognition, and I thank the rest of the council. I've had a great career with the city. I've enjoyed it. I've met some wonderful people and enjoyed providing services to citizens of Los Angeles. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zine. Our next presentation is by Councilwoman Jan Perry.
Gracias. La siguiente presentación es por la concejala Jan Perry.
Great, that's perfect. I am extremely honored to introduce some very special guests today here in our Los Angeles City Council. They are known for their beautifully written songs and have been performing since 1957. songs loved by the parents of many of us, and I would like for you to join me in giving a very, very warm welcome to Huicho Cisneros and sus dandis.
Si yo volara igual que una paloma, yo volaría en busca de un amor. Le pediría yo a las nubes que me ayudaran un poco y me dijeran por dónde volabas tú. Vuela, paloma blanca, vuela, dile a mi amor que volveré. Dile que ya no estará tan sola, que nunca más me marcharé. Fuimos felices juntos sin separarnos. Fueron testigos cielo, sol y mar. Solo quedaron recuerdos tristes por ser tan lejanos, ecos de un ding-dong, campanas de amor. Vuela, paloma blanca, vuela, dile a mi amor que volveré. Dile que ya no estará tan sola, que nunca más me marcharé. Vuela, paloma, vuela.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was absolutely beautiful. I want you to know that this will be our headline act for our second annual South Los Angeles Bolero Festival in the Rose Garden at Exposition Park this Sunday. You see, Janice, we're all about romance in the 9th District, okay? All right. So come on down there, all right? In the first year, the festival attracted thousands of people to the park in the Rose Garden for a day of incredible music performances and fun for the entire family. And I know that this festival will attract an even larger crowd because of our incredibly talented and historic performers, Huicho Cisneros y sus dandis. So today, let's give them one more hand. I wanted to thank them for joining us in what I hope will continue to be a tradition in South Los Angeles, and hope to see you all there this Sunday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the Rose Garden at Exposition Park. Happy Latino Heritage Month. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Perry. Our next presentation is by Councilmember LaBonge. And Councilmember Bonge, maybe while you're going up there, if we could just call the roll on the, I know we've called the roll just on the items, so we could get approval real quick, and then call those items special. Mr. Clerk?
First order of business would be approval of the minutes.
That has been moved by Councilmember Smith and seconded by Councilmember Zine.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Those have been approved.
Before beginning the regular agenda, there has been a request to continue item 16 to Tuesday.
That item will be continued.
On the regular agenda, items 1 through 5 are items
Asuntos
noticed for
5 son
public
asuntos que tienen
hearing.
avisos para
Council
audiencias
should
públicas. El
continue the
Consejo
hearings and
debe
ordinances to
continuar
October
esas audiencias y
11th.
ordenanzas al 11 de octubre.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and approve those
Aprobemos
items.
esos asuntos.
Correct, and then they'd be continued because there are
Y serán
12 vote
aplazados
items, is
porque
that
se
correct?
necesitan 12 votos.
No,
¿correcto?
Madam President,
No,
they
señor
are just going to be
presidente,
presented on
solamente van a ser
October
presentados
11th.
Until
al 11 de
11th,
octubre.
okay, so they'll be continued to
Serán
October 11th.
aplazados al 11 de octubre.
Next order of business,
Siguiente
please.
orden de
Item
por favor,
6 is also an
asunto
item
6,
notice for
también es
public
asunto aviso para
hearing, and the
audiencia
applicant
pública.
has requested a
El visitante ha
continuance to
pedido un
October 18th.
aplazamiento
That
al
item will be
18 de octubre.
continued
Este
to
asunto será
October
aplazado
18th.
al 18 de octubre.
Items 7 through 15 are
7
items
a
for which
15 son
public
asuntos
hearings
que
have been
han tenido
held.
audiencias
Items 7
públicas.
and 8 are
Asuntos 7 y
commission
8
appointments. Do
son
you wish to hold those
nombramientos
on
de
the desk?
comisionados. ¿Desea
We will hold
mantenerlos
those items on the
pendientes? Sí,
desk,
estos se
items 7
mantendrán
and 8.
pendientes 7 y 8.
That's the end of the agenda, correct?
Es todo.
Specials, any specials,
Especiales, ¿algún
colleagues?
especial, colegas?
Sorry,
14.
thank you. Mr. Parks,
Señor
item
Parks,
14,
asunto
so
14.
7, 8, and 14.
7, 8 y 14.
Any other
¿Algún
specials,
otro especial,
colleagues?
colegas?
If not, then
No,
we'll
entonces
open the roll
ábrase voto.
and close the
Ciérrese
roll on
voto
the remainder of those
en el
items.
resto de los
Tabulate the
asuntos.
votes.
Tabulice conteo.
Ayes.
11 sí, gracias.
Those items have been
Estos
approved.
asuntos han sido aprobados.
Items 17
Asuntos
through 49 are
17
items for which
49
public
son
hearings have
asuntos
not
que
been
no
held. 10 votes are
audiencias públicas
required,
están 10
and
votos.
there is an amending
Y hay
motion
una
on
moción
48 that has been
con
circulated.
enmienda en 48 que ha sido
Colleagues,
distribuida.
any items that we would call
Colegas, ¿algún
special?
asunto? ¿Desea llamarlo
Mr.
especial,
Parks?
señor Parks?
49.
49.
Any other items?
¿Otro asunto? 48.
48, I think that amendment has
Creo que esa
been
enmienda ya ha sido
distributed. If there's
distribuida.
no
Si
questions,
no
we'll
hay
go ahead and
preguntas,
consider that
será
amendment as we go
considerarse
forward.
enmienda.
Okay. Any other specials, colleagues? If not,
Madam President,
yes.
you do have cards on
Tenemos
17,
tarjetas sobre
35,
17,
and
35 y
43.
43.
We will call those items special then.
Se llamarán especiales.
If there's no other
Si no
special
hay mucho
items,
especial,
we will open the roll on the balance
el
of
resto de
those
los asuntos
items.
se
Close the roll.
abre, lista,
Tabulate the
se
votes.
lista y tabúlese conteo.
11 ayes.
11 sí.
Those items have been
Los asuntos han
approved.
sido aprobados.
Mr. Clerk, any other items?
Otro
Madam
asunto,
President,
señor
there is a
presidente,
special meeting
hay una
agendized today. Do you wish to
agenda
take that
de
up?
reunión especial. ¿Desea
We'll go ahead and
tratar
take that up
con
as
eso
well.
ahorita?
We'll adjourn the regular meeting, go to
La
the
reunión
special meeting.
regular se levantará la sesión y ahora
Recess
se abre la
Recess, thank you.
sesión
I'm still learning here.
de
Thank you for your
la
help.
reunión especial.
Cardenas, Garcetti, Gruel, Han,
Cardenas,
Labange, Parks, Perry,
Gruel,
Reyes,
Cardenas,
Rosendahl,
Han,
Smith,
Labange,
Whiteside,
Parks,
Padilla,
Perry, Reyes,
11
Smith,
members present, and a
Whiteside,
quorum,
11
Madam
presente, un
President.
quórum, señor presidente.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Muchas gracias,
This
secretario
meeting is
municipal.
now
Esta
in
reunión ahora
session.
se
Those items,
abre la
please.
sesión. Esos
Items
asuntos,
1 and 2
asunto
are
1 y
items for
2,
which
los
public hearings
asuntos
have been
que han
held.
tenido audiencias públicas.
Any specials,
¿Un
colleagues?
especial, colegas?
If not, those
No,
items
los
are
asuntos
before us.
están pendientes.
Open the roll,
Ábrase voto,
close the
ciérrese
roll,
voto y
tabulate
tabúlese
the
conteo.
votes.
11
11
ayes.
sí.
Items have been approved.
Esos asuntos han sido aprobados.
That concludes the agenda, special
Esto
agenda. We'll move
termina
back
la
into the
agenda especial.
regular
Ahora
meeting,
regresamos
colleagues,
a la
and
agenda de la
continue
reunión
on with
regular y
our
continuamos con nuestras
presentations.
presentaciones.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Muchas
Blanche,
gracias, señor
for letting us
Labange,
move
por
forward on this.
permitirnos proceder con esto.
Sharon, I clap when you walk up here. So I clap when you walk up. You start clapping. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
Members, Mr. Reyes and I would like to ask that Con Howell join us at the center podium. Give him a big hand. For 13 years, our Director of Planning
Director de Planeación por
for the
13
City of
años
Los Angeles.
para la ciudad de Los Ángeles.
Mr. Reyes, if
Señor
I may,
Reyes.
I'm just going to recite some of the work that Mr. Con Howell of our planning department. Move it too fast, Con.
Con,
Was the executive director of the New York City Planning Department from 1987 to 1991, when then Mayor Tom Bradley recruited Con to come over and head up our planning department. Under his leadership, a consensus was reached among thousands of city residents and business people, the city council and the mayor, for a revised general plan framework that provides a smart growth strategy to accommodate future growth in our city. He caused the city's 35 community plans to be updated consistent with smart growth strategies. Con has managed the planning department that has increased housing production through a creative and innovative legislation, responded to the needs to maintain the city's industrial base, facilitated major projects, particularly those near transit, integrated planning with those in other areas, and systems to create historic preservation districts, preservation plans, cultural heritage functions, all into the planning department. Con, there's numerous whereases here, and you know them all, but the big whereas that I want to say about Con Howell is whereas, where would downtown cannot be without Con Hal. In his leadership, the adaptive reuse, which has been talked about, finally got up and going in this last 5 years. I think the most interesting thing, Ed, I know Cardinal Tooby is here today, but when I run into Cardinal Mahoney sometimes, and he talks about downtown. Even in the short time that they built the cathedral up the street, they never saw the base of a downtown constituency for their parish. They saw it as a bigger building. They now see the revitalization of downtown, of people moving downtown, the great housing, Ed, that you did on Old Sunset Boulevard, Cesar Chavez, right by Chinatown Library. All that is making a big difference in our community, and you led that way. You were a great friend to me in my office in our historic preservation movement, which I believe is important as we look at the whole city. And we thought it was important on behalf of all of us here, the mayor included, Mayor Villaraigosa included, that we salute Con with a commendation with a great seal of the city of Los Angeles with all the good things. There was a big little celebration as you were prepared for the big celebrations here last night down the street on 4th and Main, where a lot of the city planners came together to say, good job, Con. So, Con, congratulations on your 13 years of leadership. Very much success in your next chapter. Thank you very much. Mr. Reyes is our great chairman of our Planning and Land Use Committee.
Thank you, Tom. This is a ton of round of applause. You know, he's always looking out for our city employees, always recognizing all the great things that happen in the city. But I do want to take a moment as chair of Plum to recognize Con. He is the one director of a department that lasted 3 different mayors. And for that, he should be very much recognized. But not only that, he endured. Now he's in the 4th.
I didn't want to correct you. Yeah.
But he's in the 4th now.
Right.
But not only mayors, but council members as well. With term limits, there are whole new faces in the 15 seats here. And through Con's ability to work with a department that was severely, I believe, limited from a resource base, given all the changes that occurred in the city, that have been occurring in the city, all the challenges in dealing with all the interim control ordinances, the specific plans, I could see how he was able to respond to those in these 15 seats. Whoever screamed the loudest, the hardest, the most consistent, he responded. Now we are at a place where we see that advocacy, how it's in many ways created an imbalance in the overall city, and Con tried his best to address those concerns, introduce many new ordinances through the Planning Commission, the hard work of his staff, and working with the Plum Committee that actually has created new procedures and processes that made the department much more efficient. But as you know, as of last year, we brought in 9 new departments, we're expanding the budget, and Con How was able to create the case for that type of support. So I thank him for his hard work. I know he'll be moving on to some greater things. There's the ability to last all of these different tensions for so many years. It's just truly amazing, Con. So I congratulate you for all your accomplishments, working hard, and essentially looking forward to working with you in the future, because I know that you are an Angelino at heart, given all that you've done for us. Thank you so much, Con. Con How.
Thank you. Before Mr. Zine, before Con speaks, Mr. Zine.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Look at the beautiful smiles. Smiles and smiles. Con, I know it's been a challenging career. It's been exciting working for the city. There's those bright sunny days, and there's those gloomy days. And there's the airport and the redevelopment and the CRA and the ICOs and everything else you had to deal with. It's like a juggler, always juggling to try and keep 15 council members, the mayor, and all the people of Los Angeles. The NIMBYs are always don't want this, don't want that. You've had a challenging task. What are you talking about, Bill? NIMBY, not in my backyard. There are a lot of NIMBYs around, not only here but all over the place. But you've been able to juggle that and in a very successful manner. I just want to offer my congratulations to you and your family. We've had some conversations. You're going in an elevator, out of the elevator, some short chats here and there, and I know it's been a challenging task at best. So congratulations. You enjoy that retirement. Well deserved for all that you've gone through for the people of Los Angeles. And if we look at downtown skyscrapers, if we look at how this area is turning around, it's recognition of what you have done and what those hardworking folks in planning have done. So congratulations. Enjoy retirement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zine. And I just want to add my 2 cents. I was able to attend last night. You're going away, but Con, you've been an extraordinary planning director, and I've had the pleasure of knowing you since you were appointed in Mayor Bradley's administration. And just you will be missed for us giving you a hard time some days, but also for your support and your guidance for the entire Department of Planning. So thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Labange and Reyes, for acknowledging.
You mentioned, Madam President, before Con speaks, I'll ask David Berg, the President of the Planning Commission, for some remarks. David, thank you.
Thank you very much, Council Member. On behalf of all of the Planning Commission commissioners that have the pleasure to have served with Con Howe, I just want to say a few brief words. Con is somebody that I've worked with for almost 2 years now, for about the last 15 months as Vice President of the City Planning Commission, and now I've been honored to become the President of the City Planning Commission. And so I've had an opportunity to work very closely with Con for these months. Con Howe is the consummate professional, but I think one word really summarizes the way that he's managed this department, and that word is class. Con Howe is a class act. He has the respect and admiration of his professional staff and of the commissioners that have worked with him. During his long tenure with the City of Los Angeles, he's overseen many fundamental changes in this city. In recent years, those have included, just briefly, significant charter reform, as you all know, the addition of 7 area planning commissions, the reorganization of the appeal process, the establishment of neighborhood councils, of which there are now almost 100 citywide, significant technological innovations. We now have a Zemus internet system where any person can go online with the touch of a few buttons and a few clicks of a mouse, get a comprehensive zoning report on any parcel of property within this city. We've enacted mixed-use zoning thanks to this council, adaptive reuse ordinance, historic preservation overlay zones, both of which have allowed us to preserve our city's cultural and historical heritage, downtown revitalization, modern, significant affordable housing programs, some state mandated and some locally initiated. We all in this room know that there are many divergent views and opinions on how best to plan for the City of Los Angeles' future. Con, however, has managed that process with class and with dignity. And so on behalf of my fellow city planning commissioners, on behalf of all of the area planning commissioners, on behalf of the cultural heritage commissioners, and on behalf of all of the commissioners that have served with Con Howe, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your service. We wish you well, and we truly will miss you.
Thank you very much. Now, please give a big warm welcome for Con Howe.
I really appreciate all these comments. That's why I brought my wife, Catherine, here today, so she'd hear all these nice things. Let me just say, as has been mentioned, I was appointed Director of Planning in April 1992 by Mayor Tom Bradley. And within 2 years, there had been the civil disturbances, there had been a very deep recession, and there had been there was the earthquake. So, you know, it was an auspicious beginning. The city has come back from those difficult times, both psychologically and physically, and frankly, I'm glad I've stayed to be a part of that recovery. A lot has changed in planning since 1992, and rather than recount those changes here, I actually wrote a summary of the changes and challenges of the last 13 years, and I'm going to forward it to each of you this afternoon, and I hope you and your planning deputies will read it, because it also speaks about some of the challenges that are ahead for planning. The mayor has chosen a very capable and professional interim planning director while he continues his search for a permanent planning director, and I hope you'll give Mark Winogrand the support that he needs during the transition. Speaking of planning directors and their relationship to the council, I'll tell you just 2 quick stories about 2 of your former colleagues. One of them, Zev Yaroslavsky, was quoted in the Times during the last search for a planning director, saying that what the city needs is someone who will kick butt and kick the council's butt when it needs to be kicked. And so I came to Los Angeles and I took the job, and then the first time that Zev and I had a disagreement over a project or a policy, he gave me a hard time, and I said, but don't you remember you wanted a planning director that would kick butt? And he said, yeah, but not my butt. The second story I'll tell you very quickly, and it's quite appropriate, seeing as we're in a council chambers named after him, was a story about John Ferraro. When I was, I think, really first meeting with him, he said, and it stayed with me really since the time he said it, that we need a planning department who will have a point of view and give it to the elected officials. And he said, frankly, if planning department is only going to parrot back what they think a council member wants to hear, why have a planning department? So I took that as a challenge to be, for the department to be professional. And I hope that you'll not just be open to the professional work and advice of the department and the deliberations of its 9 commissions that it serves, but that you'll encourage that professional work. For the staff's part, I've always reminded them that they may think they know more details about the zoning code or the theory of planning, but council members are the ones that know their district and the needs of their district the best. And frankly, the best thing I did as a newcomer to the city 13 years ago is I asked each of the sitting council members to take me on a tour of their district. And I assure you, those were incredible tours. And actually, that was the time when I first got to meet some of you, including Ed Reyes. Lastly, let me just say a word about the civic life in the city. The best part of being the director of planning is to be able to become a part of that civic life. Unlike other cities, Los Angeles really has a history of being open and receptive to new people from all over the world. And Catherine and I have benefited from that openness. I mentioned that in my new role as the director of the Urban Land Institute Center for the West, I'll have a chance to travel all over the western United States and see land use and development issues in other cities. But Catherine and I are staying right here in Los Angeles, our home, and we look forward to staying as part of the civic life of this city. While everyone has a role in the civic life of this city and its future, it's really you who are the stewards of that future, so guide it well. Thank you.
Thank you, Khan. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam President. Take a picture right here. Or you want to go in the back? One in the back? Come on in back.
Thank you. Our next item is Mr. Parks.
Thank you, Madam President. First of all, I'd like to ask Pastor Hardwick to come up. Today we're blessed that we have the Cardinal from Cameroon, and then we have the pastor of Praise of Zion. Also, I want to make sure Ms. Perry's here to join us, and Mrs. Hardwick to come up. We want to honor Pastor Hardwick for 50-year anniversary of his church in which he started. This church was started by Pastor Hardwick with a membership of 29 on 58th and Hooper in the city of LA. The next location was 57th and Broadway. And then in 1956, he relocated to a larger sanctuary at 84th and Avalon. And then he's remodeled twice the size of his original edifice. The Praise of Zion Baptist Church has always been at the forefront of helping less fortunate. In '65, he was the mainstay in setting up the first food and clothing giveaway after the Watts riot. They had a dream of visiting the sick and the shut-in by means of radio communication, and that dream was fulfilled with the first broadcast in 1967. The membership continued to grow beyond the capacity of the Avalon location, and after much prayer and patience, in 1980 they were greatly blessed and declared the owner of the current property at 8200 South San Pedro, which consists of over 38,000 square feet and the capacity to hold 1,700 plus people, including a separate chapel and a personal involvement center, which has over 32 rooms, a gymnasium with exceeding capacity of 1,500, and the multi-purpose room. The Praise of Zion Baptist facility is also used to serve the community with a number of programs, including the family preservation, the foster care, child care, bridges, and many other programs. They received yet another blessing in 2002 when they gained the title of ownership of the property on San Pedro, located at the southwest corner, directly across from their sanctuary. Additionally, personal honors for Pastor Hardwick has received many honors and awards throughout the years, including the invitation to the White House by then President Lyndon B. Johnson, and serving as a consultant on the Watts redevelopment plan in 1966. He's also honored as Pastor of the Year in 1968 and served as the moderator of the Los Angeles District Association. He served as 2 terms as president of the Western Baptist State Convention, and he's held several offices and on staff with the National Baptist Convention of USA, and he's been appointed to many committees by the local, state, and government officials. He's been married to the First Lady, Thelma Hardwick, since 1957, and together they've had 2 sons. Praise Zion Baptist Church continues to serve as a beacon of hope and a landmark of stability in our community. It's known as Praise City, the Church of the Covenant, and their motto is, God is in the midst of the city for a spiritual breakthrough. We wanted to bring the pastor and his wife here today because they have been such a mainstay in the South Los Angeles area, but his impact on the city, the county, and the state has been immense. And anyone that's been involved with any activity for over 50 years, he started with a very small church and certainly has moved up in increments to where now, as I mentioned earlier, all of those personal honors, but many of them come directly to the church and its parishioners. And so I'd like to ask Ms. Perry to come up and make some comments before we allow the pastor.
Thank you, Mr. Parks, and I'm so happy to stand here and recognize Pastor Hardwick today, not just because the church is physically located in the 9th, but because I just truly appreciate the contributions this man and his church have made to the benefit of so many families in our respective communities. It's no easy task to be the chair of the state convention, and that's a testament to his leadership, which is leadership with an outspoken and direct tone, a strong hand, and a lot of compassion and love. And I appreciate that, as I'm sure your members do. But he is a hands-on pastor, deeply involved in the lives of the families in our communities, from the children to the grandparents, always out there advocating on their behalf, even as recently as 20 minutes ago, right here on the council floor. He is always at the forefront of any issue that faces us, whether it be a crisis like the Hurricane Katrina, gang violence, presiding over far too many funerals, but with a strong and compassionate hand, and turning tragedy into an opportunity to teach love and nonviolence. And so I appreciate him and what he does, and thank you to his wife, the First Lady, for allowing us to work with him for so many, many years, and I hope many years to come. And I'm so happy you have the title to the building, because I think that means you're never going to leave, right? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we have him speak, Councilwoman Hahn would like to say a few words.
Thank you. Well, I'm so happy to stand and rise and salute Pastor Hardwick, who has been a good friend of mine for a long time. The Baptist Convention endorsed me for the first time I ran for office, which Pastor Hardwick said was unprecedented, especially for a woman. But I know, you know how those Baptists are. But you know what, I really wanted to say what I love about Pastor Hardwick is that not only is he passionate about the issues and he an advocate for the issues, but I'm sure Ms. Perry has done this too. He calls you in his office
él le llama a uno a su
And he
oficina.
makes sure that you
Asegura que uno
are accountable and
tome
that you are
responsabilidad de que
passionate about
uno
the issues
se
that
apasiona
matter
acerca
to
de
the
los
community. And I have been
temas
called to the
que
office.
son de
I've been
interés
called to the
la
principal's
comunidad. Me han
office
llamado a la oficina del
more than
director
once,
más de una vez.
and have been, righteously instructed on
Me han dado
the right way to go. And I appreciate
instrucciones
that because
sobre la manera
I
que
think
debo
we
de
as elected
comportarme.
officials
Y
who are
necesito eso
public
como
servants
oficiales
need to be held
electos,
accountable.
servidores al
And
público, tenemos
I,
que
for
tomar
one,
responsabilidad y yo
when,
principalmente lo
the
aprecio.
pastors and the
Aprecio cuando
ministers,
los pastores y los
really have
ministros
contact with us and
se
communicate with
comunican,
us and let
están en
us
contacto
know
con nosotros y
what's
nos
important
informan
and where
lo que
we
es
should be
importante y de
focusing
dónde
our
nos debemos de
issues and our
concentrar
passions. So,
nuestras pasiones y
you
nuestras
have been a
prioridades.
great
Usted ha
beacon
sido
of light,
un gran
a beacon of light, not only for your
rayo de luz,
church,
no
not
solamente
only
para
for
la
the
iglesia, no
state
solamente
convention,
para la convención
but really
estatal,
for really all
pero
of
para
Los Angeles.
todos Los
And I
Ángeles. Y
stand to congratulate you
lo
today.
felicito.
To this august body, to my dear friends here, Councilman Parks, Councilman, wonderful Councilman, lady.
Concejales, concejal,
As I walk down Members Lane this morning,
cuando recuerdo
I'm
el
grateful
pasado de esta
to
mañana, estoy muy
this
agradecido
council, this
a este
august
consejo
body,
municipal, a este
and
grupo,
then I want
y
you to know that I'm
quiero que
grateful
sepan que estoy muy
to be
agradecido
able to
el
render
poder
service
dar
to
servicio
not a city that's
a
perfect,
no solamente una
but
ciudad
a
que es
city that
perfecta,
is
pero
the
una
best.
ciudad que es la
So
mejor
as
ciudad.
we
Entonces,
work together
mientras trabajamos
to turn
juntos
all of our
para
negatives into
cambiar lo
positives,
negativo a
you can count
positivos,
on the
pueden
Western
contar
Baptist State
con
Convention,
la
the
Convención
praises of Zion
Bautista,
Church,
la
and
iglesia, y
as the pastor of
como el
that
pastor
August
de
body,
todo este grupo,
we are all concerned
todos
about
nos
our
preocupa
cause rather
la
than
causa,
personalities.
nuestras causas en vez de
I want to thank
personalidades. Quiero dar las
you.
gracias a ustedes.
I want to thank my
Quiero
dear
gracias a
friends. I want to
mis
thank my members.
amistades, a mis
And I want to
miembros, y
thank
quiero dar gracias
our real sincere brother.
un hermano
God
muy
bless you and
sincero,
God
que Dios
keep
los bendiga y
you.
que
You
Dios
have
los
our
mantenga
continued
saludable en nuestras
prayers.
continuas
you
oraciones.
very, very
Gracias,
much.
muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
We're going to take a break. Okay.
And I think you have one more presentation. I think
Una
that's our
presentación
final.
más y
Thank
la
you very
última
much.
presentación. Muchas
And let me ask
gracias.
the Consul General
Quiero
of
pedirle al
Pakistan
general,
to come up at this time.
Cónsul General de
And that's,
Pakistán, que
Consul
pase.
General
Cónsul
Nur
General
Mohammed
Nur Mohammed
Jamani.
Jamani.
And also you have members of
Y miembros
the
del
South Asian Festival board members
Festival
to come up with
Suroeste,
you.
miembros de la
Introduce them when you
directiva,
speak.
pase.
Basically, what we have, I had a
Básicamente
great
lo
opportunity
tenemos,
to go to the festival
He
at
tenido una
the
oportunidad de
Coliseum,
participar en el
but we
festival en
wanted
el
to
Coliseo,
bring
pero
the
queríamos
Consul
invitar
General
al cónsul
in,
general.
and we have to apologize. We had to cancel a couple of
Queremos pedir
times because we didn't have
disculpas.
a quorum one day. But we, August
Porque
15th marks the
vino,
58th
nos acompañó, pero tenemos un
anniversary
quórum, pero el
of the
15 de
Pakistani Independence
agosto
Day.
es el 15 aniversario de la fecha de
Independence Day is an
independencia. La
occasion in which
independencia es una
Pakistanis
ocasión donde los
rejoice their
personas de
freedom
Pakistán
and to pay collective homage to all those people who sacrificed their lives for the cause. In celebration, the
celebran
Pakistan Independence Day,
el Día de
the
Independencia
South
de
Asian
Pakistán,
Festival of
el
Los
Festival
Angeles presented its second annual
Asiático de
Pakistan
Los Ángeles presentó el
Independence Day
segundo
celebration
anual
at the
celebración
Coliseum
de
on
Pakistán
August the 6th.
en el Coliseo el 6 de
The
agosto.
spectacular event,
Este evento espectacular,
a lineup for Pac Day LA, included some of the largest
Titulado
and most popular bands
PAC LA, incluyó
musicians in Pakistan.
grupos
South
musicales
Asian Festival of Los
y
Angeles
músicos más populares en
is a
Pakistán. Este festival en Los Ángeles es asignado como una organización sin fin de lucro. Fue establecida para iniciar y apoyar programas que fomentan cultura sur asiática a través de entretenimiento cultural y presentaciones. Fue fundado en 2004 por un grupo de profesionales jóvenes de herencia sureste. El Festival de Los Ángeles incluye directivos, asesores y voluntarios. Su misión es de incluir a todos los que están interesados en la cultura sur asiática, sin importar color, religión o grupo étnico. Además, ellos inician y apoyan programas que fomentan
and celebration of the South
información
Asian
pública
cultural
e información
activities.
acerca de las
And it
actividades y
celebrated many
culturas
contributions South
asiáticas y muchas
Asians have made
contribuciones que
throughout the
los
history,
surasiáticos han hecho en toda la
providing a
historia,
high-quality, colorful, and
dando
extensive
una alta
program
calidad
with a
de
variety of
programación y de alto
performances
calibre
and
con diferentes
presentations. So I
presentaciones.
wanted to
Entonces me
have the
gustaría
Consul
pedirle
General
al
here
Cónsul
today
General aquí
to
el día de
honor
hoy
he and his country
darle
and
este
those who member of the festival
presentación de honor
who
a él el
on
festival.
the 15th is their 58th
El
anniversary,
15
but
es el
also
58
want to
aniversario, pero también
encourage them to
quiero
keep coming back to the Coliseum
pedirles que
for
continúen
not only
viniendo
your
al Coliseo
second through third and fourth
en su segundo, tercero
anniversary,
y
but we
cuarto
look forward
aniversario.
to hosting you there in the future. So thank you very much for being here.
Honorable President, members of the August body, Mr. Bernard Parks, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a great honor and privilege to be here before such a August assembly, along with my colleagues
Gracias por
who are
invitarnos
from
a
the
esta
South
asamblea, junto con
Asian
mis colegas que
Festival,
son
Los
miembros
Angeles.
del Festival Sur Asiático en Los Ángeles.
It has been a great honor
Ha sido un gran
also
honor
to
también
have on that particular
tener en
occasion have the
ese
Honorable
lugar
Mayor
particular
grace the
al
occasion
honorable
as the chief guest
alcalde
of the
como
event.
jefe,
South Asian Festival
como
Los
invitado
Angeles, the
principal de
young
este festival. Este festival,
crowd of Pakistani Americans
los jóvenes
put up a show,
pakistaníes
spectacular
americanos
show, as
han
Honorable
demostrado
Bernard mentioned, on the 6th
una
of
gran
August.
presentación el 6 de
The
agosto, como
actual
honorable concejal
date of
Park mencionó.
Pakistan's independence
La
is
fecha
14th of August, 1947.
de independencia
But 6th of
Pakistán
August
es
and the month of
6 de
August
agosto de
was taken
1947. Ese
by
mes de
various
agosto
cities in all around
fue
the United
incluido y
States to
celebrado en
celebrate
diferentes ciudades
Pakistan's
para celebrar
Independence
la
Day.
la independencia de
As
Pakistán.
we witnessed this
Como fuimos
morning,
testigos esta mañana,
and through you, Honorable President,
a través
I
de
wish to
usted,
extend on behalf
Presidente
of the
honorable,
government, people
sería
of Pakistan, and on behalf
extender
of
de
the
parte del
Pakistani
gobierno, el
Americans,
pueblo de Pakistán y
to our
muchos
Mexican
americanos, a
friends,
nuestros amigos
our
mexicanos,
heartiest felicitations on their
muchas
Independence
felicitaciones en su
Day,
Día
as
de
well as
Independencia,
our
tanto
best of
como
luck and best wishes to the
mejor
Latino
suerte y mejores
community
deseos a la comunidad
for
latina
celebrating
por
the month of
celebrar el
Latino
mes
Heritage.
de herencia latina.
As you have been reading
Ustedes han
in the
estado leyendo en
newspapers,
los
on the
periódicos,
electronic media, Pakistan and
los medios de
United
comunicaciones
States
electrónicos
currently
Pakistán y los Estados Unidos
are
actualmente
having close,
están teniendo
cordial, and very strong ties
lazos
under the
bastante
leadership
cordiales
of
y muy
President
fuertes bajo el
Pervez
liderazgo
Musharraf and the current
del presidente
administration.
y la
We are
administración
hand in
actual.
hand fighting
Estamos
the
mano a
menace
mano
which is called the global terrorism in all parts of the world.
estamos
And in
luchando
Pakistan,
contra
I
el
can
terrorismo
say
en todo el
for
mundo y en
definite
Pakistán
that
puedo
we
decirles
have
definitivamente
been
que
successful in breaking
hemos
the
logrado
back
éxitos
of the
de quebrar la espalda
of
de
those who have been
los
advocating
que
this
han estado
menace. And we have been
apoyando
fighting terrorism in
esta
all its forms and manifestations.
horror de
And
terrorismo.
I pray that
Oro
9/11
que
is never revisited on
el
anyone.
11 de
But
septiembre no vuelve a
9/11
ocurrir
strengthened our
con
resolve,
alguien más,
and we
pero
came
septiembre
forward and
11
joined
está en la mente de
hands
todos
with the
y
United
nosotros
States, and we
nos
have
unimos con Estados Unidos y
successfully
hemos exitosamente
eliminated that, and we
eliminado
would
ese
continue in this
elemento y
fight
continuaremos con esta lucha
with the United States and
con
the
Estados
rest of
Unidos
the
y el
world.
resto del mundo.
As the Consul General of
Como el
Pakistan, I
cónsul general
am
de Pakistán,
really honored
es un gran honor
with a community which is enterprising
con la
and
comunidad,
vibrant, as well as a
tan
moderate,
vibrante
peace-loving
y
nationals who have
nacionales que aman la paz,
dedicated their
que
lives
se han
and
dedicado sus
work
vidas y
for
trabajo
the development of
para
their
el desarrollo
adopted
de
homeland.
su
While being here,
país
they
adoptado.
also
Mientras están aquí, ellos
play a
también
bridge between Pakistan and the
son un
United
puente entre
States
Pakistán y los
as
Estados
a cultural
Unidos,
ties as
con
well as
lazos
social
culturales,
ties and economic ties to strengthen and
uniones
develop. And we are,
sociales
we
para
are greatly honored by your august body to be allowing us to come here and
fortalecer
be
sus
here
lazos.
just to
Nos sentimos muy
commemorate the
honrados y
celebrations
agradecemos
which are
sinceramente esta
part
invitación de
of
estar con ustedes y
Pakistanis
de
and Pakistani
los invitamos
Americans
también
living in
a
the United
las
States. They do
festividades
it in all
continuas de
cities.
Pakistán y pakistanos americanos
While
en las
we were
Américas.
here,
Cuando estuvimos aquí,
as Honorable Bernard
tal
Parks
como
mentioned,
honorable Parks
this
mencionó,
organization
esta
of
organización
young
de
Pakistani Americans
jóvenes,
only got
de
birth
jóvenes
2 years
pakistanos
back.
americanos,
They started their first
simplemente iniciaron hace 2
celebrations
años,
from
empezaron sus
the
primeras celebraciones
beautiful ground of the USC
en la Universidad del Sur de California y tuvieron el valor de llegar al prestigioso Coliseo de este año y fue un festival muy espectacular. Felicitaciones por este gran festival y show. Gracias, honorable presidente, gracias por darme la oportunidad a mí y a mis colegas la oportunidad de estar aquí con ustedes esta mañana o esta tarde. Ahora mis colegas para que me puedan hablar. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you, Consul General. Well, as we like to say, we save the best for last, so we thank you very, very much for this honor. Councilmember Parks, members of the City Council, it is our privilege to be here today because there were so many incredible people who have been honored this morning, and for us, it's just an honor that we can't even talk about at this point. We're speechless, and for me to be speechless, it's kind of important. I have with me our board member, Imran, and we have two board members who could not make it today. However, they also wish to thank the City Council for their support. And I'd like to also acknowledge Councilmember Bernard Parks' staff. They have been fantastic for the last 2 years, without fail. Anytime we needed anything, whether it was at USC or the LA Coliseum, they were incredibly supportive. They have an open door policy, and we really, really appreciate it. It's an excellent reflection on you. And we also like to thank the Consulate of Pakistan. We are Pakistani Americans. We're born and raised here, but we're also actually mixed. We have Indian Americans, we have Bangladeshi Americans, Nepal, everywhere, and we're born and raised here. We represent the diversity of Los Angeles because this is our home, this is where we're from, and we love the fact that the Latino Heritage Month is being celebrated at this time. We are in the business of festivals, and we enjoy, having a good time, having a great program with entertainment and spicy foods. That's why we really get along with our Latino cousins. And so we'd like to thank you once again for this honor, and we appreciate it. And thank you, and come again to our festival.
Gracias y acompáñenos a nuestro festival. Gracias.
Thank you very much. And
Muchas
thank you,
gracias.
Mr. Parks, for that
Gracias, señor Parks, por esa
presentation.
presentación.
Colleagues, we are very close to just our quorum, so we'd like to take a couple of our items now. On item number 7, Mr. Victor Naro to the Police Permit Review Panel had to leave, but we'd like to consider that item today. If there aren't any questions, I'd like to go ahead and take item 7 and move approval of his appointment to the Police Permit Review Panel. Are there any questions? If not, that item is before us.
Everybody here?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody
The
is
guard,
here?
yes, the guard has made sure he checked before we. Okay. Item is now before us, colleagues. Madam Clerk, open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the votes.
10 ayes.
Okay. Our next item, thank you so much, Mr. Kim. If you would come to the center stage, is being appointed to the Board of Transportation Commissioners. Councilmember Zine.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commander Paul Kim.
LAPD.
How many years? 28 years. You know all about transportation, all about public safety, and your wife was just appointed to a commission. Building safety? Harbor. And he was one of the commissioners. So now you're retired, and you have time to devote, continuous time to devote for the city for a very important issue, which is transportation. And I know when you commanded the west side, transportation on the 405, transportation through the 10, transportation down Santa Monica Boulevard. It's very frustrating, and I just call upon you, because you've always been a man of wisdom, of vision, of effectiveness, to put all that together and fix our transit problems in Los Angeles. So as a commissioner, hopefully your expertise will help make that happen.
Thank you.
And I wish you well, Paul. You're a tribute not only to law enforcement, but to the entire community. And I appreciate you and the mayor bringing you forward to this commission, bringing you out of retirement, and give you something else to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zine. Councilmember Rosendahl.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kim. Tell me your vision for transportation in the city of Los Angeles.
I don't know if I have a complete vision as of today, but I do have a personal vision at this point, and I will have a public one once I do my homework. I know it's an issue that affects everyone, regardless of their background. I know we have to find a better system to pay attention to needs and expectations of the public members, but at the same time we need to support DOT functions properly
funcionamiento
to do
de
that.
adecuadamente para hacerlo.
I realize
Me doy
there
cuenta
are many different types
que hay
of
muchas diferentes
agencies and
clases de
layers of
agencias
issues involved here.
y
So I hope to play a
capas
key
de
role in
asuntos aquí.
coordinating
Espero tomar parte
all those different
importante
types of
para
activities
coordinar
going
esas
on at
diferentes
different
clases de
levels.
actividades en diferentes
I
niveles.
appreciate that, Mr. Kim.
Precioso, señor Kim.
We need help
Necesitamos
in Los
ayuda.
Angeles from
En Los
Washington.
Ángeles,
We don't get our
Washington,
fair
no
share of our
recibimos
tax dollar back.
parte
We need
justa
to
de los
build our
dólares que
transportation
de
infrastructure.
impuestos. Tenemos
We
que volver a
need
construir
mass transit.
infraestructura
I
de
like your
transporte. Necesitamos
opinions about the
transporte
Expo line
masivo.
and the
Me
Green
gusta
Line.
su opinión acerca del cuál es su opinión de la línea
I'm not really
de
prepared to
exposición de la
say
línea
yes or
diagonal.
no
No
on
estoy
any,
preparada para
on any
decir
one
sí o no
particular
en
issue
ningún
because
asunto en
frankly,
particular, porque
I'm
francamente
really in the process of doing
estoy en
my
proceso
homework
de
yet.
aprendizaje y
But
de
in general concepts, I strongly
tener más
support
opción,
mass
pero en
transit.
concepto general yo apoyo generalmente
I hope in your
transporte
term
masivo.
that we
Espero que
get
durante su
clarity on
tiempo
the Expo line. I would like to
pero
see it
recibir
built to the
claridad
beach
en
within
la
10 years. I'd like
línea
to see
de
the Green
Expo.
Line
Me
built into
gustaría
the
que esta sea
airport in the
construida en
next few
10 años
years.
hacia la
And I'd
playa,
like
el
to see
aeropuerto
them
dentro de 10 unos cuantos años. Me gustaría que estas sean
to each
conectadas
other so
el
that
uno al
parts
otro
of my
para que si
district,
parte del
which are in
distrito
severe
cual
gridlock, are
están
taken out of
entrando
that
en
situation.
embotellamiento.
Can I count on your
Para
leadership
eso
on
puedo
that?
contar con su liderazgo
Absolutely.
sobre
I
este
have
enfrentamiento.
worked the area
He
you
trabajado el
represent,
área que usted
council member,
representa,
as a
concejal,
police officer,
como agente de
and
policía,
I really
y
appreciate the
aprecio
extent of
sinceramente
traffic concerns there.
las
And elsewhere in the
preocupaciones
city,
de
but
embotellamiento y
I am
tránsito
aware
ahí,
of
tal como en otras partes de la
the
ciudad. Yo
depth
estoy al
of the
tanto
issue.
de lo profundo
I
de
look
este
forward to
tema.
that leadership.
Espero
We're also
conocer
very
su
concerned about
liderazgo. Nos
LAX
preocupa
being
mucho
the only
acerca del
major
aeropuerto internacional,
airport
que
in
es
a
el
region
único
of
aeropuerto
15
internacional en
million
una región
people.
de 15
That
millones
also
de dólares. Eso
creates the
también
gridlock. But if we can get
causa
the Green Line
embotellamiento.
into
Si
the airport,
podemos
if we
llevar la
can get a
línea
mass
verde
transit
hacia el
line
aeropuerto,
down
una línea
Lincoln,
masiva
tie it
por
into the
Lincoln,
Expo line to
conectarlo a
Santa
la línea
Monica,
Expo a Santa
and get the
Mónica
red
y
line going
que la línea
under Wilshire
roja
Boulevard, that
pase a
subway.
través de
We on the
Wilshire
west
Boulevard.
side will
Estamos
start
en
to
la
see
parte
the
oeste,
relief that
empezaremos
we
a ver
dramatically need coming
algo de
forward. I look forward to
mejora
your leadership.
por ese
Thank you.
tránsito. Espero
Thank you, Councilmember.
Thank you, Mr. Rosendahl.
su liderazgo,
Councilmember Reyes.
concejal Reyes.
Thank you, Madam President.
Muchas gracias, señora
May I like to call you
Presidente.
Dr. Kim?
Me gustaría, me permite llamarle Dr. Kim.
Not only were you an
No
officer,
solamente usted
but
fue
I have worked with
oficial,
you
pero he
closely
trabajado con usted
on
muy
issues that
cercanamente
deal
en
with
temas que tratan con
the great diversity
la
we
gran
have in the
diversidad que
city.
tenemos en esta ciudad.
The Korean community must be very proud
La comunidad coreana
to have you
se,
in
imagino
this
que se está muy
role
orgulloso por
as a
tenerlo en
leader,
este puesto como
but
líder,
more importantly,
pero
as
más
in the
importante
area of
como
transportation.
en el área de transporte.
One of our challenges as a
Uno de nuestros
city
retos como
is
ciudad
that
es
the issues of transportation
los asuntos
is
de
not a
transporte
one-size-fits-all
no
issue.
es un asunto que
Behavior
le queda a todo
patterns,
mundo.
how communities interact, how they
Comportamientos, la manera que las
communicate,
comunidades se
how they get
relacionan uno al otro,
along,
la manera que se comunican,
does
la manera
vary
que se llevan
from
las
neighborhood to
relaciones diarias,
neighborhood.
cambia de
And
comunidad
so
a comunidad.
addressing
Entonces,
at the
tratar
micro level
a
the
nivel
needs of neighborhoods and
del
communities,
principio, las necesidades de
interaction with a
comunidades y vecindades
city-wide challenge,
es un
and
reto
indeed a regional-wide
en toda la ciudad y
parameters
por hecho dentro de
are
los
the types of
límites
issues that I know
de la
you'll be
ciudad son las
addressing.
clases de cuestiones
Can
que
you just share with
usted
me
incluirá en su
your
agenda. Puede
observations
compartir
on
con
how we
nosotros
deal
sus
with
observaciones
the
y la manera que
transit-dependent,
tratamos con
the folks
los que
who
dependen
can
del
afford
transporte
to
público,
pay
las
the
personas que
high
no
gas
pueden
bill,
pagar
who cannot
lo alto
essentially
costo de gasolina y
look
que no
at
pueden
being able to buy a vehicle to transport themselves
comprar un
across
vehículo
the
para
city,
transportarse de
to
una de la
clean
ciudad
that
a la
yard,
otra,
to
para
take care of that
limpiar
home or that child care. Can you give me some insight as to your
su
perspectives on
pasto,
that point of
cuidar
view?
su
Yes,
casa y la
Councilman.
guardería, no pueden pagar por eso. Claro que sí, concejal.
I'm fully aware
Yo
of the
estoy al
diversity
tanto
in
de
the
la
city, not only
diversidad
in
en esta
terms of
ciudad
one's
solamente
ethnic background,
en
but also in
cuanto
terms
a un
of
grupo étnico,
economic
pero en
standing.
cuanto al punto de
When gas
economía,
price
cuando
is as
los
high as they are now,
precios de gasolina están
and
tan
other
altos como ahora
costs
y
associated with owning a
otros
car,
costos asociados con
you have to
tener
depend
carro,
on public
tienen que
transportation
depender en transporte
that's
público
reliable and and user-friendly.
en la que uno pueda confiar y que
If you don't have that,
sea amistoso
it's like a
para
fancy-looking
la
car
curación.
without an
Tiene,
engine. You
ese
can't
es
go to
como
work.
un carro bonito sin
You
motor,
can't go
no
to
puede ir a
school.
trabajar,
You
no puede
can't
ir
go
a
to
la
school.
escuela,
You
no
can't
puede ir a
get
la escuela,
yourself
no puede
educated.
entonces recibir una
You
educación,
can't go see a
no
doctor.
puede uno ver a ir a un médico.
To meet those basic
Para
human
lograr
needs,
esas
we
necesidades
need
básicas,
to have very
necesitamos tener
reliable transportation, public transportation system
un
that's
sistema de transporte
reasonably
público
priced
muy
and
confiable,
user-friendly.
que
I
se puede usar
appreciate
por
your
el
insights,
público
sir,
y
and I look
que
forward to working with you.
sea
I congratulate you for
razonable.
all your
Gracias por
accomplishments.
su
You make our great city proud.
comentarios,
I look forward to all the great
felicitaciones
accomplishments
por
that
todos
we
sus
can expect
logros
from
y
such a
se hace
great
que
board. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
ciudad sea
Councilman.
muy, muy orgullosa. Gracias, gracias y felicitaciones.
Thank you very much, Mr. Reyes. And I had the pleasure, Mr. Kim, before our Transportation Committee, as well as a meeting to discuss some of our interest in moving Los Angeles forward. So I'm looking forward to you being part of the commission and us working together. So items, we're now, sorry, Mr. Labange.
Yeah, just
Disculpe.
Paul Kim, focus real hard on
Kim,
traffic. That's the
concéntrese.
biggest issue,
En
and
tránsito,
use your
ese es el-
expertise for 28 great years with the LAPD. And
Puntos
I know
importantes
you
es
live in the San Fernando Valley, so you have that
con el APD,
tremendous
los que viven en el Valle
aspect
San
of
Fernando,
seeing the whole region.
gran experiencia
And
de
also,
toda
if
la
you
región,
could,
y también si podría,
from the time permits, I
si
would hope that
permite
the
el
Police
tiempo, espero
Commission
que la
and
Comisión
the
de
Transportation
Policía
Commission
y la
can meet
Comisión
when
de
you talk and
Transporte
focus
puedan
on
reunirse cuando usted hable y se
traffic
concentre
issues, and I hope
de
you can meet
asuntos
sometime with the
espero que
Airport
usted pueda
Commission
reunirse con la
and the Harbor
Comisión
Commission
de
to talk about
Aeropuerto y
traffic
de
and all
Harbor
these
para
other
que
issues and
tránsito y
have
todos
some
estos temas
interplay. I used the word last
son
week, but it was the
conectados.
wrong word, so just interplay and get better ideas. Thank you,
Muchas
Madam
gracias, señora
President.
Presidente.
Madam President,
Señora Presidente,
thank you very much.
muchísimas
Thank you.
gracias.
Thank you very much,
Gracias
Mr.
a usted, señor
Labange.
Labange.
Thank you,
Colleagues, that
Councilmember.
item is now before us. Open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the votes.
10 ayes.
Yes, sí.
Congratulations, Mr. Kim. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next order of business, I think, is item number 14.
And that was called special by Councilmember Parks.
Concejal Parks.
Thank you, Madam President.
Gracias,
I'd
señora
like to ask the
Presidente.
staff to
Pedirle al
come up.
personal que pase.
This is as we've talked in the Transportation Committee recently about
Hablamos
the need for
recientemente
the city
en
to
el Comité de
continue
Transporte acerca de la necesidad
looking at
de que la ciudad
transportation issues
continúe
as it relates to
considerando asuntos de
including
transporte,
not
dar
only the
consideraciones
housing,
para incluir
transportation,
solamente
but also
transporte, viviendas,
the
pero
business
también
community. And this is a
la comunidad
grant in
empresarial.
which
Esa es una
the city is
subvención
moving forward on, and we'd like to have
que la ciudad está
our staff, if they're
utilizando
here.
para proceder. ¿El personal se encuentra?
We have no staff.
No hay personal.
Well, we can hold this, Madam Chair.
Señor presidente, puede
We do not have staff, so we can either come back Tuesday or
Why don't we continue to
Hay que
Tuesday?
aplazarlo al martes.
Item number 14.
Asunto 14 se ha aplazado para el siguiente martes.
Item number 17, and it's been called special by Sylvia Lynn Hawkins.
Llamado especial por Sylvia Lynn Hawkins.
Our card.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Ms. Sylvia Lynn Hawkins. On number 17, I believe that the YMCA should be open for all United States of America people and not London people only, whom is now dead, their leader, Dr. Wanda Davis Turner, who was Charlie Oak. For we know that these YMCA buildings is not open for the public children or homeless people. But these buildings are private for Charlie Oak people only. They have luxury apartment inside the building, not for rent. We are only seeing the swimming pool area and the gymnasium area, but they are hiding children that is from New York and Georgia destruction from the schools, and they are not in existence if transferred without document from the school or churches or state or country they are coming from. To enroll illegally children in schools, colleges, into private and open schools before these children can transfer from the East. We must have their documents, Social Security number, passport, what hospital was they born at, original birth certificate, what school they are transferring from before they demolish all schools in the East. I believe, as I was younger...
This is on a REAP item, so
okay, good.
If we could ask you to conclude, please.
Okay. I believe as I was transferred here in 1981, I was going to Kansas Elementary, Riverview Junior High School, and Carver High School in Memphis, Tennessee. I transferred all my paperwork here before they demolished the paperwork or the school. Or they would not know whom we are if we go into business.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hawkins. I appreciate your comments. Thank you. Colleagues, that item is now before
Ese
us.
asunto ahora está
Open the roll,
pendiente. Ábrase voto,
close the
ciérrese
roll,
voto y tabúlese conteo.
tabulate the votes. That item has been
Ese asunto
approved.
ha sido
Item
aprobado.
number
Asunto número
35,
35.
we have a card from
Tenemos la
Melrose Larry
tarjeta
Green.
de Melrose Larry Green.
Good afternoon. I'll be brief. Actually, I signed up for 35, 43, and 49. So if it's okay with the council, I'll talk about them all very, very briefly.
Thank you.
This has been a great meeting. For those of you that are watching at night on the replay, you don't know what you missed. if you weren't here live, but this is one of the greatest meetings of all time, starting with George Lopez and the mayor and Dolores Huerta and all that. It was fantastic. Item 35 recognizes the 9th annual Tom Bradley Business Breakfast on October 28th, 2005. Many of you may not have even been alive when Tom Bradley was the mayor of LA. I had the pleasure of meeting him several times, and quite frankly, the Democratic Party needs a lot more Democrats like Tom Bradley. And he was a wonderful guy, and I'm glad to see his name in the agenda. I support item 35. Item 43 is relative to declaring a tribute to fallen heroes on September 11th, 2005, a special event. And it's very important that we remember the people that died, that fell out of those buildings in the World Trade Center when those planes were crashed into the World Trade Center and the Pentagon and the heroes in Pennsylvania. And not just be a date on the calendar, but that it's people's lives who had no warning. They went to work in the morning. They all had wives, parents, husbands, fathers, and they did nothing to deserve what happened to them on September 11th. So I applaud that item, which is number 43. And these are not insignificant things, what I'm talking about. These are people's lives. And item 49 is related to today, and ironically, it's the National Day of Mourning, even though we were all celebrating. This is a National Day of Mourning, remembering those that did not make it in Hurricane Katrina, and I wanted to applaud that. That will be on the agenda. It's a very sad day, and we have a lot of work to do, and hopefully you in the City Council will learn from the mistakes that were made in New Orleans, not to make the same mistakes in the state of California. And I'm done with those items. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Larry. I appreciate it.
Gracias.
Colleagues, item now before us is item number 35 and item number 43. Madam Clerk, open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the votes.
10 ayes.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Our next item is
Siguiente
item
asunto,
number 49, called special by Mr.
especial
Parks,
por el
and we
señor
also have a
Parks. Tenemos
public
la
speaker card.
tarjeta del público.
Thank you, Madam
Gracias, señor
President.
presidente.
I brought this special because it
Llamé este especial
came on the day of the
porque
President
se presentó el
declared
día
the
el
National Day of
presidente
Mourning,
declaró
dealing
el
with
Día Nacional del
the
Lamento,
Gulf State tragedies,
tratando con
and I
las
thought it'd be
tragedias del
appropriate
Golfo, y
for us
pensé que era
to
adecuado
support that
apoyar
proposal by the
esa
President,
propuesta
but
por el
also
presidente, pero
that if we
también
have an
que
opportunity
si
today to
tenemos
all
una
stand and
oportunidad
give a
hoy de
moment of
todos
silence
ponernos de
because
pie
of
en
the
un
number
momento de
of
silencio
people
por la
that
cantidad de
have died
personas que han
to that
fallecido
tragedy. I'd ask
a esa
that we do that
tragedia.
at this
Pido
time
que hagamos eso
and take
en
a
este
moment
momento y
of
tomemos
silence.
un momento de
Thank you. I'd
silencio.
ask that everyone please
Por favor,
stand,
todos pónganse de pie
and then we have a moment of
para un
silence.
momento de silencio.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parks, very much.
I'd just like to emphasize a couple of things. As we know, it was probably one of the greatest tragedies we've seen in this country. Early on, they estimate over 5 million people were without power. They also estimate that the range of damage could go well above the $20 to $35 billion mark. And I think what's also important is to just highlight a couple of things that the city has done, because even though this tragedy has not come to our shores, many of the people that are impacted live here or have family members down south. But just give you an idea that the mayor put out a very comprehensive report on September 15th that listed a number of mutual aid efforts in which we have sent fire department personnel primarily to that site to assist, that we're working directly with FEMA where we've assigned personnel. That city employees, over 500 of them have volunteered based on the mayor's memorandum of looking for 1,000 volunteers for the American Red Cross. We've had over 500 city employees volunteer. Also, the CRA has moved forward to allocate funding to assist those who have come here to secure temporary and long-term housing. LA Best, as of a couple of days ago, the mayor offered to the mayor of Baton Rouge to use some of the LA Best staff. Just to give you a thumbnail, over 3,500 people have been accommodated in the city of Los Angeles
sido
over
acomodados en la ciudad de Los
250
Ángeles,
at
más
the
de
Dream Center,
250 en el
but
centro
over
Dream,
3,000
pero más de
housed by friends,
3,000
relatives,
han
and
recibido
local
hogar
hotels
por
to
amistades,
accommodate those who come
parientes
here.
y hoteles
And
locales.
I want to thank
Y
Ms.
quiero dar
Perry
gracias a la
for
señora Perry
initiating
por
the
iniciar
fundraising activity
la
in front
recaudación
of
de
the
fondos.
City
Esta
Hall,
actividad
where
enfrente del
$80,000
ayuntamiento, donde
was
$80,000
raised by
fueron
those
recaudados
who
por
came by
los
the
que
City Hall. And for
pasaron
those that were not
al
aware, the mayor
ayuntamiento, y
has
los
said
que no
for
estaban tanto, el
all of the
alcalde ha
personal
dicho que
contribution by
por todas las
members of the City
contribuciones personales
Council,
por miembros del
that he
Consejo
will match
Municipal,
that
él
contribution. So we know that
dará la
if
misma
we
parte
can
a
pull
esta
together
construcción. Si podemos unirnos
we can really hurt him financially, is that
si
we
nos
pull
unimos
together
podemos
that
dañarlo
he would match it.
económicamente.
But the other thing that
Pero
we should
algo
know
más
is that
que
the
debemos
city has
saber es
set
que la
up
ciudad
a
organizado
variety
una
of short-term
variedad
shelters
de albergues
throughout
de
the county in assistance with
poco
the county.
tiempo
And they're
del
committed to
condado,
hosting
junto con
over
la asistencia del
2,000
condado, y se han comprometido de
people that would
patrocinar a
migrate to
2,000
the Los
personas
Angeles
que
area. Such locations
llegarán a
as
Los
McLaren
Ángeles. Tales
Hall,
sitios
Griffith
es
Park
Picker
Boys
Hall,
Camp, the Friendship
Griffith
Lodge,
Park,
Epic Center,
Friendship
just to name a few that are
Lodge,
in
Epic
the
Center y unos
city.
cuantos en la
We
ciudad.
also are looking at a
También están
processing
mirando
and
el
transportation location at
procesamiento
the
y
Westchester
lugar de
Processing Center with,
transporte en el
in
centro de
conjunction
Westchester
with
Process
FEMA.
junto con
These are just
FEMA.
some of the
Esas son
things dealing with
algunas
the county,
cosas que
also
tratan
with
con el condado,
healthcare,
también con la
mental health,
asistencia de salud
and public
mental
awareness. And so
y
I would ask that
información al
as we
público.
go
Quiero
forward
pedir
and
que mientras
support in
procedemos y
a day of
apoyamos
memory,
un día de
that
memoria
we also
y
realize of the great
recordatorio,
effort of the
hay que
city
darnos cuenta también
family
del gran
in coming
esfuerzo que la
together
familia
and helping
de esta
those who are
ciudad
less fortunate.
se han
And
unido para
certainly we
ayudar a
remember
los
in,
menos
years ago
afortunados.
with our earthquake, so many
Hace
people
muchos
came
años con
here.
su temblor muchas
And
personas
as we
vinieron
also
aquí
remember
y
September
también
11th, how
recordamos que
many
el 11 de
people we
septiembre
sent to
muchas
support
personas
New York.
enviamos
And so
también a
I
apoyar
would
a
ask
Nueva
that
York.
we have an aye
Pido
vote on this
un voto
motion,
sí
that
sobre
we
esta
support the
moción
National Day of
y es de
Mourning,
apoyar
which is
el Día
September the
Nacional del
16th.
Lamento, el cual es el 16 de
Thank you very
septiembre.
much, Mr. Parks.
Muchas
Mr.
gracias, señor Parks.
Rosendahl.
Señor Rosendahl.
On October 1st
El
in my
1 de octubre,
district
en mi
in
distrito,
Westchester,
en
we're going to have a
Westchester, vamos a
concert
tener
for
un
kids.
concierto para
And
los
it's going to
niños
be
y
kids in
van a
our
ser
area
niños en nuestra área
embracing children from Katrina's disastrous
incluirán a
thing.
niños
We're
de
going to raise money
Katrina
at the
por el
same
desastre
time. It's
Katrina.
going to
Vamos
be
a
held
recaudar
where my
dinero, se
office
llevará a
is
cabo
there
donde está
on
ubicada mi
Manchester
oficina,
and
sobre la
Lincoln. And I
Manchester y la
encourage
Lincoln.
people to come
Y les pido a
on
personas
October
que nos
1st at
acompañen
1
el 1
o'clock
de
in the
octubre a la
afternoon.
1 de la
Secondly,
tarde.
right after the meeting is adjourned
Después de que se
here,
termine
I'm
esta
going to
sesión,
LAX to
voy
greet
al
our
aeropuerto nacional para
firefighters who have
darle la bienvenida
saved
a los
over
bomberos que
500
han
people's
salvado
lives.
la vida
They
de
were
más de
the
500
early
personas.
responders
Eran
from
los
Los
que
Angeles. And God bless our
llegaron
firefighters
primero allá de
for
Los
what
Ángeles.
they
Que Dios bendiga
did.
a nuestros bomberos por lo que han hecho.
Lessons learned.
Lecciones
What
que uno
lessons
aprende.
have
¿Qué
we learned
lecciones
in
hemos
Los Angeles
aprendido en
over
Los
this?
Ángeles
Number
por
one,
esto?
we
Uno,
need to reinvest in our
necesitamos reinvertir
infrastructure.
en nuestra
We got to go up to
infraestructura.
the Delta
Tenemos
and
que
make
ir
sure
al
that
Delta para asegurarnos
the
que
dikes and the levees up in the Sacramento area are secure
todas
so
las
that our
paredes
water
allá
is
sacamos
secure
seguros
for
para que el
Southern
agua esté seguro
California.
para el sur de
Secondly, we
California.
need to
Segundo, tenemos
continue
que
to
continuar
invest in all of our
invirtiendo en todas
structures
nuestras
to be
estructuras
earthquake safe.
para que estén
We
seguras
are
contra
where the big one
temblores.
might come.
Estamos
Third,
ubicados donde
we
quizás
need
el
to
gran
tell our
temblor llegue.
citizens to provide themselves
Debemos decirle a los
survival
ciudadanos que
opportunities,
se
water,
den a sí
flashlights,
mismos
food
oportunidades
for
de
at least 3 days,
sobrevivencia.
and get the cell phone interconnection
Comida,
among our families
agua,
and friends so we know how to communicate with
lámparas,
ourselves. We need to take
celulares
this
con nuestras
disaster and
familias para
see
poder
if there's
comunicarnos.
lessons
Nosotros
for
tenemos
us in
que
Los
mirar
Angeles
ese desastre
to
para ver
learn.
si
And of
podemos
course,
aprender
lastly, the
lecciones.
moment of
Por último, un
silence
momento
for
de
all those
silencio para
people
todos
that have lost their
las
lives
personas que han
and
perdido
families
sus vidas
that
y
have found
familias que
themselves
se han
difficult. We in
encontrado
Los
en
Angeles
lugares
have
difíciles.
opened
Nosotros
up our
en Los Ángeles hemos
doors
abierto
and
nuestras
will
puertas y
continue to do
continuaremos
that and be
haciéndolo.
as helpful as we
Y
can.
ser lo más
Thank you, Mr. Rosendahl. Mr. Labange.
Amistosos y
wanted to,
ayuda lo más que podamos. Gracias, señor
stand in
Labange.
support of
Quiero
this
ponerme de
effort
pie
and all our
para
efforts. It's
apoyar
been an
este
awful
esfuerzo,
long, long
pues, va a
time
ser- va a tomar
for this
muchísimo
country to
tiempo para
recover
que
from
este
such
país
a
se
natural
recupere de tal
disaster as
desastre natural
the Hurricane
como es el
Karina.
huracán Katrina.
I just wanted to ask a question,
Quiero
Mr.
hacer una
Clerk. Could we
pregunta,
ask
sistema
Ellis
municipal.
Stanley to come
Podemos pedir- le
to
pre-
council at any
podemos
one
pedirle a
point? Do we
Ellis
know
Stanley.
disaster
Le hemos pedido a
preparedness?
Ellis
Do we
Stanley.
know that? Do we know Mr. Parks?
gerente de-
Do we know if
del
Mr.
Departamento
Stanley
de
has been asked to
Preparación de
come
Emergencias?
to this
¿Sabe, señor
council
Parks, si se le ha pedido al señor Ellis
at any
que
time in the
venga
future to
este-
discuss issues
según
related
se pueda en el
to
futuro para hablar sobre
this? If not, I think we should have a
relacionados?
special
Si no, tenemos que
item,
tener un asunto especial
agenda item
en la
on
agenda.
disaster
Yes.
preparedness, because ironically, September is disaster
Porque
preparedness
únicamente,
month in the city of Los
septiembre
Angeles.
es
It'd be
el
good to
mes de
hear from
preparación
Mr.
de
Stanley and others
emergencia. Nos
to talk about
gustaría
it.
escuchar
And
al señor
thank you.
Stanley que
Mr.
hable sobre
Labange,
esto,
I've been
señor
told that a
Labange.
motion was
Me confirma
introduced
que
and
se
it's going to be
presenta
going
una
to public
moción
safety
y
in
se
the next week or
presentará
so for that
en la
presentation as
ciudad
well as to
pública
come to
de
the full
semana para esa
council.
presentación y para que
Thank you. God
se
bless
acompañe en este
the
Consejo
Gulf
Municipal.
states
Que Dios
and all the
bendiga a los
victims
estados del Golfo
and
y
their
todos los
family.
víctimas. Muchas gracias.
Thank you,
a su
Mr.
familia. Gracias,
Labange.
señor Labange.
Sylvia Lynn Hawkins.
Sylvia Lynn Hawkins.
Again, good evening. My name is Ms. Sylvia Lynn Hawkins. We must say no on this resolution. supporting September the 16th, 2005, Friday, as a national holiday in the United States of America. We all must know that United States government federal programs and money is not the same federal money that President Bush is talking about. As a Reconstruction, Louisiana, Bishop McMary and Bishop Wayne Davis is dead. And this is not Africa continent. These states are being supported by other governments' federal money and planned federal money from Prime Minister Blair, President Mandela, Prime Minister Putz, President Fox, Prime Minister Abbas, Prime Minister Sharon, and AWA President Bush and Hussein Hussein. Therefore, our United States of America government is not with their plan of building food, diet food, charter schools, private or public, housing, and churches, their medication and health plan is for their sick people from their different countries that are here in the United States of America to be healed. United States of America people are not sickly.
Thank you, Ms. Hawkins.
Okay, one
Appreciate
second.
for coming.
Please, no medication or hospital visitation, private part use only, for we are at war, at Hawk War 5 versus Hussein Insane. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Hawkins. That item is now before us. Madam Clerk, open the roll.
Pendiente, por favor.
Close the roll.
Ábrase voto, ciérrese voto y
Tabulate the
tabúlese el
votes.
conteo.
10 ayes.
10 yes.
That item has been approved. We'll now move to public comment.
Comentario del público.
First is Bill Huey, followed by Melrose Larry Green.
Okay, good morning, Madam President and
Buenos
members
días,
of the
señor
LA City
Presidente
Council.
y miembros del Consejo
My name
Municipal.
is Bill Huey.
Mi
I've
nombre es Bill
spoken
Huey.
before you. I represent the Florentine
Yo represento
Gardens,
a los
and it's kind
Florentine
of a sad
Gardens.
irony
Una
today
ironía
that we've
triste el
been
día de hoy que
celebrating
hemos estado
Latino heritage,
celebrando
and the
herencia
Florentine
latina
Gardens is
y los
probably one of the most famous
Gardens quizás es
nightclubs
uno
in
de los
Hollywood,
nightclubs más famosos
nightclub
en Hollywood,
restaurant. It's owned by a
nightclub
Latino,
restaurant.
and probably in about a
Es un
week,
latino.
week and a half, it's going to
Eso
be
ya
up
está entre una
for a
semana, semana y
council
media.
vote for eminent domain,
Va
which means that the city will be taking the
a tener
property from the
que
owner
tomarse
by
voto
force.
por
Now,
eminent
one thing
domain,
that has
el
not
que
been
dice que el
done,
gobierno
that
va
we've
a
been
tomarlo
pushing
del
for all
propietario
along
por-
in the last 4
a
years,
fuerzas.
is that no
Los 4
full
años hemos
EIR has been made. So it would be very tragic if the city ends
pedido
up
que
spending
no
60,
que se lleve a
70,
cabo un
or
reporte de
100
impacto
million to
ambiental, muy
acquire the
triste que
property,
la
and
ciudad
then the EIR is
gaste
done
millones de
after the fact.
dólares para
Even
adquirir
when
esta
the
propiedad y
matter
luego la
was
IR se
before
llevará
the
a cabo
Oversight
después, aun cuando
Committee
ese asunto
and
estuvo
the
ante el
Department of
Comité
Public Works, we kept asking
Investigatorio
why
y
has
ante Obras
there
Públicas
no
hemos
full EIR been
preguntado por qué no
done.
se lleva a cabo
So
un
this is
reporte de
something that we're
impacto
bringing before the council
ambiental.
in
Eso
the
es algo
hopes
que se ha
that the city
presentado ante el
doesn't
municipal
spend
esperando que la
many
ciudad no
millions
gaste
of
muchos
dollars
millones de
and in the end
dólares
find
y
out
al
they made a
fin
mistake.
se
And
den
if I
cuenta
can
que
just
han
make
cometido un
one
error. Quiero
comment
hacer
that
un
may be of
comentario que
interest, I
quizás
wanted
es
to
de
compliment
interés. Quiero felicitar
Councilmember
al
Cardenas
concejal
on
Cárdenas
his speech earlier.
por su
Maybe this may be of
presidente,
interest to
quizás esto le
Councilman
interese al
Reyes.
concejal
I've
Reyes.
never said this before to council, but
Nunca he
I'm
dicho
half
esto
Hispanic,
antes,
I'm
pero
half
yo
Cuban, and I
soy
speak fluent
hispano
Spanish.
y
And in
cubano y
1990,
hablo
even though I do
español
public
en el 90
relations
que
as a
hago
living, I
relaciones
also
públicas
own and
como
operate Hispanic talent
negocio
casting of
también.
Hollywood. And for the last 15 years, I've been
Últimos
putting
15 años he
Latinos in
estado
movies, television
incluyendo
commercials,
latinos en
and national
comerciales,
TV shows.
televisiones y
And
comerciales
15 years ago,
hace
when I
15 años
started,
cuando empecé.
a lot of big production companies
Muchas
were not
compañías de
looking for
producción
Latino
estaban
actors.
mirando
They were getting
actores,
Caucasian
buscando
actors and
actores
dyeing their hair
latinos,
black, mainly
sino
because they
porque
would tell me
actores
Latinos don't
americanos
return
con el
phone
pelo
calls
negro.
fast enough. So I started doing seminars at local theater groups saying to Latino actors how to better understand the protocol of the entertainment industry. And because there's such a huge dropout of minorities in LA, I'm offering my services. If the city ever wants to do seminars to talk to young people in their 20s and 30s about getting back in school, getting off of drugs, a lot of Latinos, when I talk in front of their theater groups, have told me I'm like a funny version of Tony Robbins. I don't do jokes here because it would be out of place, but I'm available if the city ever wants to do some kind of program to reach out to minority people who have dropped out of school and motivate them to get back in school, maybe some kind of television show on a city channel. I would be glad to sit down with whomever about that. Thank you for getting me long-winded. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker, Melrose Larry Green. please.
I know it's late and everybody's talked out and all that, but I'll be very brief. About Florentine Gardens, I talked about it last week, and I went to Councilman Labange's committee meeting with Councilman Smythe. Smith. I hope you'll do all in your hearts to save Florentine Gardens. I think it's an ugly story about what went on behind the scenes. I know the people in Beechwood Canyon. I know those homeowners there. They're living on another planet, and there's a lot of hanky-panky as to why that Garfield site wasn't picked up. And I don't think any of you would like it if somebody came to your office, Councilman Parks, and said, hey, we're putting a fire station in your office, get out. Well, that's pretty much what the city of LA is doing at Mr. McKenzie and Florentine Gardens. We're putting a fire station on your property, get out. I don't like it, and again, I don't want to take up all my time. On a happier note, on a more positive note, this is a great time for the 4th District, of which Councilman Labange is our esteemed representative. I am proud to announce and plug that next weekend is the Feast of San Gennaro, put on by my good friends Doug DeLuca. I'm not name dropping, my girlfriend knows he's a name dropper. And my good friends Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla. They are putting this on at the Grove, 3 days of fun and music, like they said at Woodstock, and nothing but fun and music. The first night, VIPs like me pay money, but it's for a great cause, a lot of charitable causes united into one, and all of you that are not Italians will become Italians for September 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And tonight, as if that's not enough, the Greek Theater is having a concert of a couple of American rock and rollers, a couple of legends you might have heard of, Alice Cooper and Cheap Trick. I know you're going to be there, Tom. If not, you'll be there in spirit. Maybe you'll even bring on Cheap Trick. You never know. That's tonight. And finally, the 4th District is proud to welcome its newest residents, the family of Antonio Villaraigosa. They're moving to Getty House. I read at the Wichita Eagle in Kansas yesterday on the internet, and it's also made the Daily News. So that's it. And I talked about Florentine Gardens. I relinquished the rest of my time to other speakers. And today was a great meeting. I hope all of you are enjoying the meeting on TV. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have representatives which may have spoken earlier, Angela Reed, Jose Santos, and Voela from Local 11. I think they may have spoken during Councilmember Padilla's presentation earlier. We have representatives from the South Central Farmers.
Hi, City Councils. My name is Martina Lera, and I'm a member of the South Central Farmers. And I've seen many benefits that the garden has provided for me and my family, and especially on my children who are learning healthier habits. And I've seen a tremendous improvement in their study. And thanks to the garden, my children have a safe environment, and they are excited to visit the garden. City councils, please save our garden. Thank you.
Good evening, City Council members. My name is Alberto, and I'm here to express that our community are experiencing a crisis of obesity and diabetes. Why? Because there's not enough green space, safe green space. The South Central Farmers are creating safe environment for our community that's beneficial to everybody as a whole. So I'm here to ask the City Council members and the mayor to reconsider the issue on the South Central Farmers. This is a vital environment for our community. This is the only safe environment that our community knows. So, South Central Farmers are feeding families, encouraging healthy habits, and promoting safe environment for our community. Y aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Tierra y libertad.
Thank you. Thank you all very much for being here today. Colleagues, we have lost a quorum, so we'll not be able to do adjourning motions this afternoon. Any of those we'll be able to do on Tuesday. So the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.